today I have a special surprise guest for you. He's a master chef all the way from Chicago. Please welcome Chef Farley.
How to do, Randy?
Hey, how to do that, Chef Farley? All right, now I understand you prepared some of your special dishes for us.
That's right, Randy. Now, a little birdie told me that you have a special kind of hankering for chocolate.
Well, yes. You might say that I enjoy chocolate.
Well, then feast your eyes on this little baby right here. How do you like this one, Randy?
Be still my chocolate heart.
This here's a 7-layer chocolate cake with a chocolate mousse center covered in chocolate icing.
It is lovely, Chef Farley. You know, the only thing I might add would be just a little bit more...
I know. Ketchup. You read my mind. Ketchup boy.
Ketchup, ain't
Come on in here. This here's Ketchup boy. How you doing, Ketchup boy?
Just fine.
You got your own ketchup, boy?
Doesn't everybody? Now stand back, Randu, because this can get a little ugly. You gotta do it just right.
Man, what are you
It's
doing?
all in the wrist. What goes on?
What is you doing?
Many times I'll even take a little bit. A little bit more. Just let it take
Wait, man, what are you doing? I wasn't talking about ketchup.
We're talking about ketchup? Well, don't knock it till you try it, Randu. Because this stuff is good. Taste stuff.
No, nasty.
Nasty?
Look. I think I ought to explain how we do things here in Randy's world. You know what I'm talking
Take it away, Randu.
Thank you. All right. Now, I believe it is safe to say that everybody loves fried chicken.
Well, you bet your fanny I do, Randy.
Now, here we see 14 legs of beautifully fried, crispy, crunchy chicken. Right here. Now, the only thing left to do to finish off the heaping, beautiful plate of chicken is add a heaping helping of
Ketchup, I know. Hold on, Randy. Ketchup boy, come on out here.
ketchup.
All right, now, Randy, you and I
Wait a
think
minute.
alike.
I don't want to...
Many times I like the ketchup. Everybody likes a little ketchup.
Everybody loves a little ketchup. Is that what you said? No.
Everybody loves
See here?
ketchup.
Everybody loves a little chocolate. There we go. That's pretty good. Hey, take this ketchup, boy.
You know, chocolate ain't half bad.
Not half bad. Get out of here. You're fired. You're never going to serve ketchup again. Get out of here.
You see? You can't beat chocolate.
You can't beat chocolate. Randu, I'm worried about you. Look, Dad, you've been eating chocolate all your life. And all you got to show for it is a new crop of zits. I'm worried about you. Pretty soon you're going to wake up Sunday morning after stealing Grandma's Sprangle mints out of her candy dish. You're going to end up in rehab, a chocoholic.
Are you on some kind of medication?
Maybe, Randu, but stand back. Because you better come over to the side of ketchup.
I will never forsake chocolate.
Ketchup!
Chocolate!
Ketchup!
Chocolate!
Ketchup!
Chocolate!
Ketchup! What have you done here? What's happening here?
You have aroused the chocolate gods.
This is scaring me a little bit here.
Hey, what's this? Yes, it is raining chocolate. Eat with me, Ollie.
All right, Randy, don't mind if I do. All we need is a little bit of ketchup on it. now.
And now, Lloyd Denberg with more vital information for your everyday life.
It's rude to talk with your mouth full. It's even ruder to talk with your mouth full of baby squirrels. When it rains, it pours. When it snows, it's cold. If you speak Spanish and you don't want anyone to know, it's not smart to shout out, "El elefante es grande, señorita."
This has been Lloyd Denberg with vital information.
Projects. Huh? Well, that's cool. I'll just sit back and watch you do your little science project. Who's first? I am. Come on out. For my science project, I brought in this cinder block here to demonstrate a basic principle of physics. What goes up must come down. What must go up must come down.
Apply to larger objects like that computer monitor?
There's only one way to find out. Wait. I will get all of you little miserable Martians spawn if Ghost Creek wasn't feeling so much hurt pain. Benny, I'm feeling a lot of dislike for you, Benny. You know what? Who's next?
I'm going to demonstrate conservation of momentum. Observe how each ball transfers its momentum to the next ball.
Boom. Ghost Creek will appreciate it if you didn't do that again.
Do what again, miss?
What?
Sorry, Coach Cretin.
I'm giving you an H for all the hate that I have for you. Now sit down. Let's get back on with the pain. That is my life. Next. I have a project. For my science project, I'm gonna demonstrate how a direct blow to the head causes pain. Observe. Okay. Nothing. You got me, Coach Green. I didn't really do my homework. I just made that up just then. I'm about to make up something. I'm about to make up. I'll see ya. Come on.
Okay, well, for my science project, I made a real-life-like volcano with real boiling hot lava. And when I press this red button here, it's gonna erupt. See?
Ooh.
Okay, and press O.
Oh, it doesn't work. Oh, junk it to her. Junk it to her.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Well, you not the sad son of a man that I become now, you woman.
Don't worry, Coach Green. I'll help you with my science project. The high-powered laser beam.
And now, the adventures of Baggin', Saggin', Barry.
Now listen up. I have an important announcement to make. But before I do, remember, Junior Badger buddies do not panic, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, right. We're lost. chill, man. This ain't no thing. Oh, really? Mr. Bagging, Sagging Berry? And I suppose you're gonna save us with those clown pants? Yep. You want light? Shake it out. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm hungry. There's plenty of fruits and berries and...
I want a tuna sandwich.
No problem. Mayo. And the bread. Wait a minute. Regular or caffeine free? Hold it. What if it begins to rain or bears start prowling around? Are you gonna run to Bagging, Sagging Berry or to me? Before you answer that, it's a tent. Bagging, Berry. I suppose you have a TV in there. 186 channels? How does he do it?
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to Barry's pants and all the stuff inside. And come the rain or sleet or snow, in Barry's pants we'll hide. The helicopter's here.
I admit it, Barry. You saved us. You know, being out here with all you kids, well, it kind of makes me wish I had a kid of my own.
Oh.
There you go, Scout Leader. It's all in the bag.
How many pencils can she possibly sharpen?
Quiet! Why are you talking? This is a library!
But you make more noise than any of them.
Didn't you hear what I just said? Maybe I should speak louder. Quiet! Silence! No talking! Didn't you hear what I just said? Hey! Mr. Jerk in the Box! Pop up! Reveal your ugly puppet head! There! Come here, Mr. Jerk in the Box!
Man, I mean...
What is it with you? This is a library! People are trying to study! Look at them! They need quiet! Not these honks and rude disturbances from the likes of you!
Do you have a dictionary?
Yes, loudmouth! This is a library!
Then look up the word irony.
Don't get out! Now! Hooligan! Next time, read the sign! Come on! Extra ball! Oh, you killed! Oh, you stupid! I really touched you! Kilter! Must I remind you where you are? This is a library! And that means no eating! And no noise! Well, if you insist on choking, do it somewhere that's not a library! This is a library, not a chokatorium!
We got it working. And I'm going to unmute you. And we're back. At least I got the screen playing, so that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yo. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, now I can see myself on the screen, too. I should turn the volume down, right?
Yeah, you're on the stream.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I can see it.
You're on the
I
stream.
should turn the volume.
Dude, I got to tell you, people were asking for you like all week long.
What a strange occurrence.
You're
People
famous
want me
on
on
my
the Twitch
stream.
stream.
Yeah.
I'm famous on Drew Gulak's Twitch stream.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yep. You're famous on here.
Yo, what's going on?
Not much, man. Having a good week. I just got informed that Aiden English is in the stream, which is crazy. Where's he at?
Oh
Let me see.
shit.
I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while.
Sock Monkey Mike hit me with the all caps of my name. What's up, Mike?
Oh, Platinum Saki was watching the. Oh, there he is. Oh shit. Pardon my French.
Oh, nice.
Matt, how are you? I miss you. What are you doing in my stream? Why aren't you on video with me? Can I Zoom call you? I'm gonna Zoom call him and then we'll catch up and then you can meet him. Sorry, not to steal your thunder, Wheeler. I don't know if I'm gonna do it though. That's up to him. Because he's just creeping in the chat right now. That's interesting.
Drew, every week you got Gabbin with Gulak.
Oh, he said yes.
Hop on in.
He said yes. Hold on. Let me see if I got my phone out here. Let me see if we can hook this up right now. Oh, and Craig O'Mac gifted a subscription.
Nice.
Alright, I'm going to send him this Zoom link in a sec.
Hell yeah.
Alright, Matt, check your phone. I may have texted you. Hopefully you're dressed. Drew, did you cut your hair? No, I've been growing my hair. Been growing it.
Can you see like barbers and stuff down there? Is that a thing?
Yeah,
you can do?
Barbers are open in Florida.
Ooh, nice. I have to go to another state. Fanny Pack Clan, what up? But yeah, I have to go to like Delaware and stuff. Now that I'm back in Pennsylvania.
Oh, because they're not open?
Yeah. I haven't been able to find anyone open. I don't know. It's been weird. Like yellow phase in Pennsylvania. I don't really know what that entails. But like, a lot of the shops in Center City are open. Well, the ones that survived, you know. But yeah, it's a weird time.
Is that why you're wearing your Sweet Eagles hat?
Yeah, of course. No, my dad bought this for me when I was like 10. This was like the coach's hat or whatever from that year. Like, look at how old this. I don't know if the NFC's changed their logo.
The coach's hat. Does that mean? Oh, that's like what the coaches would wear.
Yeah, like the dudes with the headsets would have.
Gotcha.
Yeah, all the like assistant coaches and stuff like that. I have this, and then he would never like. My parents would never get me the actual like team hat. They get me like weird stuff. So they got me this, and they got me like the batting practice hat.
Doesn't that
they
suck?
got me, like, kind of, but also like no one else had it. So like I got like the Phillies batting practice hat. I was the only human being who had it.
I've had the it's not the batting practice hat, but I did get the like the spring training hat, or like the playoffs hats when like they're in the playoffs but they never go to the finals, you know?
Oh, they have like the little patch on the side.
Yeah,
it's like the same hat, but like
like
nice.
2009 Phillies playoffs. Cool.
I saw some dude today in Center City with like the 07 NL East Division Championship hat today. And I was like,
remember that 07 season?
Right, when they won the wild card, and then, or no, they won the division, but then they never, like, they lost in the first round of the playoffs. They got swept by the Rockies, I think.
Ugh.
If I'm right.
07. So that was they were getting good. They were just heating up.
Yeah, they won the World Series the next year.
Right, I mean, and then the year after that, they went to the finals again, but lost. Right, we had like a crazy pitching team that year. I think we had, who was it? Cliff Lee was added to the team.
Yeah, that was,
along with Holiday.
That was pre-Holiday. That was Lee.
Pre-Holiday.
Pre-Holiday, but I think they had. I think it was Lee, Hamels, Roy Oswalt. I think was there already.
Oswalt. Yeah, Oswalt. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Joe Blanton was definitely there.
Oh yeah, Joe, fourth man.
Yeah. So I don't know if Roy was there yet, but I definitely had a pennant in my room that was like the 4 pitchers. It was like Oswalt, Blanton, Cliff Lee, and then who did I not say yet? Hamels, I think.
Right.
I didn't say. Yeah, like it was the 4 of them. I still had that. somewhere.
Yeah, that was like a killer lineup that we had, like in that rotation.
Yeah, that was unreal. It was the best time.
Yeah, their pitching needs to get it together this season, right? Like that's where we've been slacking lately.
Yeah.
Talking Phillies baseball, and like I know there's like maybe 5 or 6 people in this whole chat room. We got 120 people in there. They're like, ugh, baseball talk.
They care, yeah.
See, this guy, Fanny Pack Clan just asked, Drew, do you like fanny packs?
Drew, how do you feel
can't
about
call them
fanny
that
pack?
in England. You mean a bum bag.
Oh, yeah, the bum bag. Do you have any hard stances on fanny packs, though? I'm really into this fanny pack clan guy.
Hard stance? I don't know. I'd like to like them more. I think that's my stance on it. I feel like I'm supposed to like them because I'm a wrestler.
Because of your profession, but you don't like them? Yeah.
I don't know if I don't need one.
Yeah, do you have pockets?
What about like a utility belt?
Ooh.
Like you got your medication in a holder?
That's a good move. Here, I'll show you what I use. That Kenny Johnson of many wrestling documentary fame actually asked me about, and I was supposed to send him the link, and I forgot. It's like an over-the-shoulder bag that I bought on Amazon.
Oh wow, that's a real like Explorer European bag going on.
I'm not entirely positive, but I wouldn't be surprised if like I had just gotten off of a weekend with like Zach or someone that had a similar bag.
Yeah, you just had to copy him. Of course, it was probably him. It had to be him.
That's something I would do. I mean, I bought that bag a few years ago, so I don't know for sure.
All right, we're going to be joined by Mr. Aiden English, a.k.a. Mr. Matt Rehwoldt, a.k.a. Wrestling with Whiskey. So let's bring him on in now. I'm excited.
Nice.
I'm excited. There he is. There he is. Yes. Oh, I'm so happy. Hey,
Random
Matt.
fate?
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Who are we on with? I want to say hello.
This is Wheeler Yuta.
Hello, Wheeler.
Hello. How's it going?
Good,
Nice
man.
to
How
meet
are
you.
you?
Doing good, doing good.
Yeah, Wheeler Yuta is an independent wrestling superstar.
Yes, I am one of Drew's students.
Okay, so you're really good at wrestling.
I'm okay.
What's up, man? What do you got there? What's all your whiskey stuff? Let me see.
I mean, I'm on my computer thing, so
Yeah.
I don't know if I can turn it, but I've got the closet there. You can kind of see.
Yeah, I can see.
Oh wow.
So that's a really crappy angle of it, but there's about 150 bottles in here. So, just cheers.
Oh man, I feel like I gotta go get some. Let me go see if I have any. Hold on.
I don't have any whiskey with me.
That's okay. Nobody's perfect.
Right? I don't have a whole closet, man.
Well, yeah, that either means like I'm a dork or it means I'm like a connoisseur. I like connoisseur, but
I'm gonna go with connoisseur.
or alcoholic.
One or the other.
One of the 12. So where are you? Are you based out of like Pennsylvania, like Drew?
Yeah, I'm actually I'm based out of Philadelphia as well.
Okay. How long you been working?
About 5 years. I actually moved up to train with Drew. I was
okay.
I lived in South Carolina is originally where I'm from.
Okay.
Yeah, so I lived there. I trained for like 2 years when I was down there with just like a local independent guy. And then I knew that I kind of wanted to sort of retrain a little bit. So I picked my college based on where I thought I could get the best indie bookings. So that's how I wound up training with Drew. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
That's and you did exactly what I had somebody who had asked me literally just today, but like, hey, what's your advice for like people who want to like get into wrestling? It's like, dude, number one is just to research where you train. Like there's a lot of people out there in the indie wrestling biz who will try to take your money and 3 to 6 months of your time and then send you packing with nothing basically. So yeah, find someone who's had success in the business and everything. That's the best piece of advice I get is find someone who's reputable to train you.
Are we into wrestling advice already? Oh, I got Jim Beam Apple.
Okay.
And then I also found this really cool wedding gift that we got one time. And I guess like you can, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's legit.
It's pretty sweet.
So I'm definitely not going to drink this, but
Oh, that is okay.
yeah, I don't know. I forgot we had this. I just think that's awesome. So yeah.
It is awesome.
Yeah, cheers.
Here, here.
So what advice were you passing on?
I was just saying about when you go to train, find a reputable school is a huge thing. Just because there's so many con artists and people who don't know anything and will just claim that, yeah, I've been in the business, 45 years, working this one promotion in the southeast corner of this one state and stuff like that. It's like find someone who's been around, who's worked all over, who's had some success, who has a reputation.
Yeah.
That's key.
I think I get asked that the most. Are you on Twitch? Do you do Twitch a lot?
Well, I just rated your channel, right?
Oh, you rated us?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
There's only like 12, 15 people because I literally just started like a week and a half ago or something. But
okay.
But yeah.
What do you think of it so far?
Dude, I love the concept of it and everything. I'm kind of like blown away that I never jumped on before. Just because I think I assumed you had to be like world-class Call of Duty player to be on there, and like I'm terrible at that stuff.
Yeah.
But then in this downtime that I've had and that we've had all this pandemic stuff, I was just like, you know what, screw it, let's jump on and see what it's about. It's been fun. Now I'm just figuring out all the little angles and stuff.
Yeah, I bet you got a lot of people that come in just to see what you're up to. That's pretty cool. One of the things with Twitch, like I wasn't sure about was how interactive it was. Like I didn't really understand like the point of it. I was like, oh, we just watch people play games. Like I guess I like to do that, but then it was like, no, we can directly talk to people back and forth. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, and I think I get asked every stream, like, do you have advice for me? I'm going to become a wrestler, something like that, like every single time. And that is the number one thing I say is the same thing you said, was like, try to find a good school.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's key. I mean,
oh, Mike Rome's rating us now.
Yeah.
It's a big reunion.
Rid of the Romans. But, well, I don't want. What were you guys gonna chat about before my candy ass?
So the way this works is that I just catch up with my friends.
Fair enough.
And we answer questions throughout the week, or from the guests and the chat and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yep.
But what have you been up to, Drew?
Just the Monday or Tuesday is the schedule at the moment for now. But yeah, that's about it. Like I'm in the gym a lot now because gyms just opened back up in Florida.
I was saying, yeah, you guys, you're pretty open down there, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's almost like too open, but I guess we'll find out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, no kidding. Between that and massive protests everywhere in the country, it's like, yeah, we're gonna get a spike or 12.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you guys have to wear like masks and stuff, or like at the gym? Like, what are they doing?
Not here.
Yeah, that's a good question, Drew. You don't have to wear masks in the gym?
No, I mean, they just sanitize everything. They have a limited amount of people in there. That's about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really laid back.
I got into the home workout stuff, and like, I think it's great and it does work, but God, I do miss the gym.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah. I miss lifting up heavy things every now and then.
You have a really sick home workout routine, though, right?
I have gotten really into it, and I think I got a bunch of bands and did some stuff, and at some point I'm getting some kettlebells, so I might, like, my gym membership here in Chicago is stupid expensive, so right now they're closed, but once they open up I'll probably actually cancel that.
Yeah.
And I'll work out at home and maybe get like a $10 membership to like an Export Fitness or something like
Planet
that.
Fitness?
Yeah, I can't do Planet. I can't do Planet. I need something over like 60 pounds.
Yes,
but,
big strong boys.
Big strong boys. BOIS. But yeah, it's so I'll probably do something like that.
Yeah, you need to do something. I couldn't wait to get back in the gym. Really couldn't wait.
Yeah. What were you doing before? Weren't you like working out just like at your apartment? Like
I
what
went
were
on
you
my
doing?
roof.
Went on your roof?
Yeah, on the roof deck, and the only weight I really had is I have a bar. I don't have any like free weights or anything, so I would take the bar and do like lunges up and down like the parking garage, and that's about it.
I just remember I would check like Liz's like Instagram story and it'd just be you like just doing squats with a bar,
Just us losing
just
our
on the
minds.
parking deck. Yeah.
I mean, you get a pretty good workout with the bar. It's just not the same. You need the weights to build the muscle. If you're gonna get bigger.
Yeah.
How big are you looking to get, Drew? Are you going to hit 260 this year?
How much?
Hey, you left that 205 live bull crap behind. It's time to get big like a big man.
I'll tell you this, right? My weight always fluctuates, like within 10 pounds. For almost all of 205, I was at 204, and that's the heaviest I've ever been. But when I had, like for the quarantine, because I wasn't in the gym so much, I dropped back down to 193, which is the lightest I'd been in a long time. But since the gyms have been open in like 2 weeks, I'm up to 206. So there you go. So that's how much I've been working out lately.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, let's be fair. In 2 weeks, a lot of that's going to be diet too.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God. I've been eating my face off.
Have you eaten more during quarantine or less? Or like you think?
I don't know. I think more. Definitely more. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Definitely more. Because it's like.
Way less.
You ate less.
Way less.
Really?
Like when I was wrestling, or even not even wrestling, even when I was doing commentary, I was on the road and just a little bit busier.
Yeah.
I was still eating probably if not 2-3 hours, every 4 hours, probably 4 meals a day at least.
Wow.
Now I've had days where I've skipped like lunch. Like I have breakfast and I'm like, oh crap, it's 8 p.m. I should probably eat dinner.
Is that just because you're doing stuff at home?
It's because I'm not doing, I think, as much physical. Like I get up, I wake up, I have a cup of coffee, I do like a deck of cards workout.
Yeah.
I eat my breakfast. I get to work. I do like whatever YouTube videos or just stuff at home. I'm literally sitting in a chair most of it, and then walk the dog. And then I realize, yeah, it's like 6-7 o'clock, and
oh my gosh,
yeah,
you're in a time vortex.
It's really been nuts.
So what are you gonna do?
What do you mean? Is that like a existential question?
Yes. Waiting for Godot.
I'm going to be. I'm going to live. I'm going to experience.
All right. Are you going to start a whiskey television show? Are you going to sell a TV show? Is someone bothering you for the rights to a TV show?
So, if anybody in your chat or anybody, I've been dying. If anybody knows anybody at Netflix, you're damn right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do basically, legit. So there's like 8 million food shows, but like, have you seen this? There's Somebody Feed Phil with
I
that
love it.
Phil Rosenthal.
Absolutely love it. Yeah.
Great. I'm like, I want to do that, but with whiskey or spirits. Just going around the world trying the native spirit of Poland, of Hungary, of Taiwan, and like meeting the people who make it and trying it and learning their stories and stuff like that. So I'm like, I just need to get in touch with Netflix, man.
What I love about those shows is that it's like, okay, food is obviously the angle, but the whole thing's about culture.
It's about people. It comes back to people, story, and culture. Yes. Yep. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, you could totally do that. You should totally do that. Man, all right, we need to get on. We need to get on the line. All right, chat room. Let's put our collective heads together. How many people we got in this chat room?
Yeah, who's got
155 people right now.
Yeah.
Someone has to know somebody who knows somebody at least, right?
Yeah. That Kevin works in the mail room at Netflix.
That's it. Anyone who's got a Netflix hookup.
That's so perfect too. Like no one thinks about how like ingratiated into the culture, like different spirits and like different alcohol is. Like that's awesome. That's perfect.
That's true too, because a lot of this stuff that I've come to discover, whiskeys have been huge in different countries, but spirits in general, like whatever kind of fermented alcohol it is, are huge, like ceremonial things going back like hundreds of years. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's so culturally important and integral to so many cultures and tribes and people going back tons and tons, eons. This stuff has been around. Like distilling has been around forever.
Yeah, so many stories to be told there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what's the earliest? Like, what's the oldest known?
So again, like whiskey being my forte, the earliest known like mention of distilling, I think, comes in like ancient Greece, with certain like with wines and things like that. So obviously you hear about wine in ancient Greece and ancient Rome and the Bible and all this stuff. So that's obviously been around. But as far as like kind of like hard spirits, probably Greece, somewhere around there. It wasn't the whiskey and stuff we know today. They weren't putting it in barrels and stuff, but turning grains in the ground into fermented, alcohol.
Yeah.
Around for since the ancient Greece, the Romans, stuff like that.
Okay, so that's the earliest.
As far as we know.
That's kind of super interesting.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's really nerdy stuff, but it's stupid fascinating once you go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. So then it goes from where? So Greece, like, when I think.
So I only know again, the vodka and gin and all these things have their own timelines. But as far as whiskey, when I know ancient Greece, the next known, like, recorded kind of documentation of it was in, like, Italy, where they used it mainly ceremonial and stuff like that. And then in somewhere between 1100 and 1300 AD, it hits Scotland and Ireland. And then that's where it blows up into like Scotch, Irish whiskey. Since the 1300s, 1400s, they've been regularly distilling whiskey stuff. And then from there is where it jumped over to here. And then rye whiskey, bourbon whiskey, Canadian, and all that stuff jumped after that. So the whiskey we know today, most of it is modeled after like Scotch whiskey, single malts, using Japanese whiskey is all based on Scotch distillation. Taiwanese whiskey is all based on Scotch distillation.
Right.
South African, Australian is all kind of follows the Scottish method.
Okay.
In malted barley to distill whiskey, and you've probably lost all of your viewers at this point.
No, we've lost 9.
So, now, it's spread all over the world.
Yeah, that's super fascinating. I love that stuff. Now, I could pick your brain on wine all day.
Oh yeah.
On whiskey all day. I was going to ask about wine because when I think ancient Rome, like that's what I think of. I don't think of whiskey.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
It's all wine.
Damn. So have you been like, I don't know, are the restaurants in your area opening back up or what?
So for example, my wife serves and bartends at a sports bar restaurant. They've opened up outdoor seating.
Okay.
And then, but they've also included if you have one of those like garage door windows things that roll up, you can have a little bit of indoor seating too if you have enough airflow and stuff like that. So a little bit, but we're still waiting on gyms. We're still waiting on most of retail. Like the major stores and grocery stores have been open, but most small retail hasn't been open and stuff like that.
So no like restaurants where you can go in and start, you were doing tastings and stuff too for a while.
Yeah, none of that stuff is really wide open yet.
Yeah.
And somebody's lighting off fireworks outside. I don't know. But Wheeler, what's it like for you right now? So what do you like? I mean, there aren't really much booking right now, obviously, right?
Yeah, like indie wrestling just out of nowhere, like completely shut down. Like March and April was going to be like some of my busiest times of the year, and it just went away. So it's just kind of doing my day job and getting by until for as long as I can. I got lucky. Like when I got laid off, I was able to kind of go hang out with my parents for a while, which is nice as a young person to go kind of hang out with them. My sister came home too, so I get to hang out with my nephew. But now it's back to work and doing what we can. But I'm really curious to see how like wrestling just as a whole shakes out, the way that everything's going. Like all the independent shows I've seen have either been outside or like in a drive-in movie theater, like things like that. So it's like, what is it going to look like going forward? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it looks like bookings are starting to come back. So
yeah, it's interesting to see. So now, like, I'm in the process of like talking to promoters and stuff like that too, and it's this weird feeling too right now because it's like, so I like, for example, this week I was in touch with a promoter in West Virginia. And he has a show on like July 18th.
Yeah.
Like, and I know West Virginia is a little bit less populous and maybe they have less cases and stuff, but I'm like, so if you're full on running a show, like he's got like Jimmy Hart, he's got my mother-in-law there, he's got a couple of names coming in. So I'm like, you're probably hoping to have at least a couple hundred people in a place. So I'm like, but and July 18th, it seems early to do something like that. So like, I'm happy for maybe the opportunity to do something like that, but it kind of seems a little wild to have a couple hundred people in one place. I don't care where it is, anywhere in the country, right?
Yeah.
Now.
Yes.
It's a crazy.
It's wild.
It's a crazy thought, and then like, in addition to like you're having the wrestlers there, or I mean you're having the fans there, like you're having all these wrestlers travel from, like God knows how far, like, to come do these shows because the wrestlers don't care. We're like, yeah, we'll get the work where we can get it. We'll go wrestle. Right. So it's like you have these people coming from all these areas who, even if your area is not very exposed, all these wrestlers could be coming. Like I'm coming from a city like that's very exposed. So it's a tough situation. I don't know what it looks like going forward. But.
Yeah, and Lord knows a lot of these shows are not going to have plexiglass up.
Yeah.
around the ring.
Right.
I don't know, like the screening process when we go to work, like that makes me feel a lot better, you know, because they've sent some people home, you know, who weren't feeling well. Like that's not uncommon, and that's just a precaution, you know. But there's really nothing you can do. Like even the testing that is going on is not accurate right now. Like maybe later.
It's not accurate, and it takes time. It's not like unless they had a 5-minute test for COVID, you're never 100% sure.
Yeah.
So.
And what is the protocol for you guys? Like, what does the test look like, or not the test, just whatever you have to go through?
Well, I mean, the CDC guidelines for any place like that is that you get a temperature check, and then they give you a questionnaire, and then they screen you for any symptoms. So like WWE has an awesome medical staff that screens us when we walk in.
Yeah.
Like everyone has to, and it's like social distancing straight, you know, until you get through the door, and even then, it's like you got to keep a distance. Only small groups can kind of be together indoors. So it's a lot more than you would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the tough part is just like the asymptomatic period. Like
exactly.
Other than a straight up COVID test, what can you do, right? Like, yeah.
Sure.
But it's a weird time. Weird time for sure.
Yeah. Yep. So on that note, what have you been watching on TV?
Sorry to make it a bummer.
We're all screwed. What are we watching TV.
Yeah, what do you got? What's your quarantine playlist besides
Okay.
Phil?
So, a lot of stuff, obviously, just because me and my wife have spent a lot of time just like watching stuff, just because that's all there is to do, especially in the early days. But we have been going. I watched the first couple of seasons years ago, but I haven't watched all of it. So we're catching up on Downton Abbey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my wife watched the whole thing.
Yeah, so we've gotten through. So now it's all fresh to me. So we just are about to start season 6, which I think is the last season before they did the movie. So it has been dramatic and classy as hell.
Yeah, that's I don't know where he just went. That's that's the one way I would describe that show from what I've seen. Did you watch Peaky Blinders at all?
I watched the first season of Peaky Blinders.
Okay.
I want to continue. I just got to put in the time.
All right. I think the way that show's shot, like Downton Abbey, kind of reminds me of a similar.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
definitely the tone of the show is different, but the yeah.
I've been trying to watch. I got into watching some of the talk shows, like the late night shows. It's interesting watching those from home.
Who's your favorite?
Honestly, so not even like a late night thing. My favorite like at home show was John Krasinski's Some Good News.
Okay.
I got a kick out of that, and I thought it was both funny, but it was charming and heartfelt too, and like had a nice little bit of positivity in a very changing and crazy kind of world. So I really got a kick out of that.
Yeah, that's that show I think was perfectly timed, to say the least. Perfectly timed.
Fallon is good too.
Oh yeah, Ellen's awesome.
But it's a super weird thing. So like everybody knows, or at least I think everybody knows. So late night shows are normally they're taped in the afternoon. Like even when they're running like normal, they're taped at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But they're on a set. So I'm so used to watching this dark city skyline set with Jimmy Kimmel or whoever. But so at 11 o'clock at night, you turn on Kimmel or Fallon, and it's like they're filming footage from their house at like 10 in the morning with their kids doing homework or eating breakfast. It's this weird disconnect.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to seeing them hosting in the morning. It's such a small thing, but like it throws me off, and it's weird.
And they film the late shows at what, like 4 in the afternoon, I think, something like that.
Usually,
yeah.
Something like, yeah.
That always blew my mind. Like when I first discovered that, like, oh my god, it's not live. They pre-record it. Like, it's not nighttime. They have to pretend it's nighttime.
I think I found out because my girlfriend had tickets to go to I think it was like Jimmy Kimmel, and it was like at 3 o'clock. I was like, "What are you talking about? That show's at 11." I had no idea, like for years.
Like, how the hell does that work?
Right, and I was like, "Yeah, what do you mean?" Right? I was like, "Oh, wait, it's pre-taped. That makes sense." But yeah,
dude, it's wild.
That's what it was. Oh man. So what whiskey did you wind up in that whole selection? Where'd you go?
I'm usually a big proponent of when you pick something, stick with it unless you really, really need to change or whatever. Mm-hmm. During my stream, somebody had asked, what are you drinking? Sorry. I feel like I'm a walking billboard. It's actually this company and this shirt that I'm wearing.
Bardstown.
Okay. Yeah, so it's this Bardstown Bourbon Company. This is a 12-year bourbon from Indiana, from a pretty famous distillery called MGP. And then, for that bottle, they took the bourbon, which was 12 years already, which is a good age for bourbon. It's a very nice age for bourbon. And then they put it in cognac barrels, barrels that used to have cognac in them, for 18 months, for a year and a half.
Oh wow!
So it's really great bourbon already, but then it's got these sweet, like fruity cognac notes, these kind of brandy, cherry notes to it.
That's so sick.
It's really, really nice. They do some awesome finishes and collaboration stuff. They've done one with like brandy. They've done one with wine. They're just about to do one with sherry.
When you said brandy for a second, for whatever reason, I thought you meant the artist Brandy.
Yeah, 100%. Moesha's got a whiskey coming out.
I was so in. But then, like, I was like, Brandy. Oh, wait, that makes sense. Yeah, duh. Yeah, continue.
That was it. They do some good stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love how, like, just putting it into a different barrel changes the flavor of the whole thing. It's like that.
Unreal.
Yeah.
I have one that was bourbon put in an orange curacao barrel. And orange curacao, you've had it. It's basically like a fancy triple sec.
Okay.
It's like an orange liqueur. And you wouldn't believe, like, you smell it, and it smells like a fresh peeled orange. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's insane.
It's nuts how, like, yeah, it's crazy. It's just like, it's not cooking it, but it's just like, it's just hanging out, you know?
Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, so you're, for example, you're drinking, what was it? It was Jack Daniel's Apple?
This is Jim Beam Apple that my brother left here maybe a year ago.
So, for example, this is a big thing in, like, the whiskey community, because, like, a lot of people don't like those kind of whiskey because it's a flavored whiskey, which basically means it's whiskey that they put some sugar and flavoring into.
Yep.
So with the finishes, it's a little bit more like au naturel, because there's nothing added to it. It's just literally put into a barrel that used to hold something else and left to sit through the summer and the winter, and it goes in and out of the wood again, and it adds like some kind of a little bit of like natural flavoring without adding sugar and stuff like that. So it's a little bit more like kosher to the purists and stuff like that.
I know that word. I know that word.
Yeah, I bet. But yeah.
All right, Fanny Pack Clan asked us to rank our favorite gummy-shaped candies.
Gummy penises.
Great question.
Penises aren't even on my list, man.
Bachelor party gummy penis. No. I don't know.
Have you ever had gummy sharks?
No.
No? Yuta, you ever have those?
Gummy sharks?
Yeah. They're actually pretty big. They look like great white sharks, but they're like blue gummy with a white
What,
bottom.
are they like? Yeah, I was gonna say, are they like half and half?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really good.
I have had them. I don't think they're that great.
I mean,
nothing right home.
Between, I think, the traditional gummy worm.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
The worms are pretty awesome.
Mm. Have you guys had the? It's like the Sour Patch Kids, but watermelon. It's like half watermelon.
That's Tony Nese's favorite.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's Nese's. That's Gage's favorite too. He
Really,
loves them.
Nick Gage, hardcore Nick Gage.
Nick Gage will
ex-bank robber Nick Gage.
Yeah, former bank robber, convicted felon Nick Gage will buy 2 packs of those in the morning.
Also, yeah. Sour Patch.
Right. Those are his favorite things.
But if we're including Sour Patch, those are my favorite though.
Oh, you don't count them as a regular gummy candy?
No, I don't know, because they've got the sugary coating and the extra. I wasn't sure if it was considered a regular old.
That's fair. Yeah, there's extra things thrown on it. That's fair.
But yeah, if they are, I think the classic Sour Patch Kid.
Yeah.
Or again, sour worms, same thing.
What about the strips, like the sour strips?
Yeah.
I like those.
I need something more substantial. I was Fruit by the Foot. I was gaga over as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like, my mom never bought those for like lunches in like elementary school and stuff like that. Like once a year. And so like when she would put those in our brown bag lunches, it was like I was the coolest kid in the freaking world.
How would you eat it? This is very important.
I wouldn't quite do it like where it would just hang all the way down, but I would unroll it and then pull the strip out and just back down to my mouth. Yeah.
Yuta, how'd you eat your fruit by the foot?
I would eat it like that, but like they were, I don't know, they like ripped in half. Do you remember that?
What do you
it was
mean?
like perforated. Like they were like perforated. You could rip them in half.
Are you talking about fruit by the foot or fruit roll-ups?
Yeah, fruit roll-ups had shapes and shit in there.
Yeah.
I'm talking fruit by the foot, like the real long one, the long thin one, right?
Really?
I
don't remember them being able to rip in half.
No, these were the ones I had. I don't know. Maybe my mom bought like weird, shitty knockoff fruit roll-ups, but they could rip in half. So I'd rip them in half, and I eat one half and then the other. That's how I'd do it. Fruit by Duff with like DA.
Yeah, I do remember the
fruit by the meter.
Fruit roll-ups. I do remember trying to actively make like when they had the fruit roll-up like pizza ones.
Oh, they had like stamps and stuff in there, like spaceships and
stars.
stars. And all,
They're like tongue stamps.
Go out and try to make the little pieces and
dude, and like the consistency of a fruit roll-up and a fruit by the foot are completely different. Like
100%.
A fruit roll-up is definitely like a stronger, almost like more like cellophane, I would say, right? So you can't like, there's no way you can you can get that shape out without stretching the thing so it's not the right shape anymore.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Looks awful.
False advertising. 100%.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah.
I remember there was like, I don't know if they did this for a long time or if it was just like a short thing, but they did tongue tattoos on one of them. I don't remember if it was fruit by the foot or fruit roll up, but it was like,
yeah.
Yeah, it was like you had to like hold it on your tongue and it'd be like this blue like shape. And then for like 5 minutes, you could go to your friends and be like, "Look at this, man." That was it.
Between those and Gushers.
Oh man, Gushers.
Oh, Gushers, yes.
Gushers were the coolest.
They were sweet.
Gushers, they were the best thing to like trade at lunch. Like, I don't know, they were okay, I thought, but like kids just valued them so much that you could be like, "Hey, let me trade this for you."
Remember freaking, it's not Gummy, but you remember Warheads?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Super sour warheads.
Those are crazy.
I remember doing like challenges at lunch with like the whatever like the mega super sour ones were. Stuff like that, just to see how long you could like hold it in your mouth and everything.
You were definitely a cool kid in lunch if you had warheads. That was like, whoa, he's got warheads. How about airheads? Remember those?
Oh yeah, I love airheads.
Yeah, they were cool.
I'll still eat airheads.
I associate, so I have a super strong memory sense associating airheads with it wasn't mine because I wasn't a member. It was my buddy's like pool at the concession stand. It was always a concession stand item for me.
Yep.
And so like he'd take me as a guest to his his country club pool or whatever it was, and at the concession stand they would always have airheads, and that's where I always associated my sense memory.
Same, totally same. Like they were not something that you would just walk into like Wawa and pick up like here.
Right.
You know, that was totally like if I was at the pool, there'd be the little box of them, or if like the ice cream truck came around, they sometimes had snacks in there too.
Yep.
In Philly, and then there were like the corner stores that we would go into, which were like the mom and pop. Was it like a bungalow or what were those called? Are those
bodega?
Bodega, yeah, bungalow. Yeah, bodega. Yeah, the bodegas, like those stores, always had like next to the lottery tickets was the airheads, and then there were like stink bombs too, or these other things that you could smash the. I don't know. You could smash you could smash like the packet inside, and it would inflate and then explode. I don't know if you remember those.
I don't remember that. I remember stink bombs. I don't remember that particular time.
You get those, and then bomb pops, little poppers. Did you have those? Like where you would throw them, and they were just noisemakers.
100%.
Yeah. Yep.
Now I want like gummies.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely don't have any in my apartment right now. It's probably for good reason. I do have Cheez-Its though. Pretty pumped about that.
What kind? Just original?
No, I got these kind called extra toasty.
Those are the best ones.
Have
the
you
best
seen them?
ones.
Have you tried them? Okay, they're good.
Yeah.
They're real good.
The best ones.
Yeah. All right, let's see what the chat is doing right now. 41, the legend says, how about the kid that had a dentist appointment and came in late to lunch with a Happy Meal? I was that kid for sure.
Oh, I was that kid once or twice.
Yep.
He's the best.
Absolutely.
I would always come in with like an egg McMuffin and like hash browns.
Okay. Yep. Or I remember every so often I would get my mom would never really do it, but like if my parents were out of town and like my aunt was babysitting us,
yeah,
like she would pick it up for us and like you'd get the call to the principal's office like over the speaker. And then can you or please send Matt down to the principal's office to get something? And I'm like, what? And then you walk in and you see it sitting there, the bag sitting on the desk of the receptionist or whatever, and you're like, oh. I'm going to be the baddest ass person. See my chicken nuggets and bow in fear and respect. French fries never tasted better than they did in a school cafeteria.
What's that? Nuggets?
No, French fries.
Oh, French fries?
Anything, but French fries.
But you're saying bringing them from outside in.
Just, having them they were never sweeter. The taste was never more satisfying than it was in a school lunch.
Gotcha. Yeah, because our school actually had fries. Like, especially in like middle school and high school. Dude, Philly middle schools and Philly high schools, like they in public, like they didn't have the highest quality of lunches. Like our chocolate milk came in plastic bags that you have to punch a straw into.
Oh God.
Yeah. So that's like the one you could get like a healthy lunch that they have prepared, or you can get like wings and fries, and that's what you get like every day, just wings and fries. Garbage, shoveling garbage into our adolescent bodies.
It is a wonder, like you get the whole. I do get the whole like Michelle Obama like we need to change some of the lunch stuff in some of these schools.
Some. What
like,
schools is she used to? Like, she must go to the nicest schools.
No kidding. I remember Bosco steaks in my high school, which were basically breadsticks, like cheap breadsticks, and but they were like that was what everybody got.
Bosco sticks.
Oh yeah, but I never got hot lunch in high school. We had it. We had meals, but. My parents, we packed the lunch.
Yeah, that's where it's at. That's the right way to go.
Peanut butter and jelly for 16 years of my life.
The same thing every time?
I mean, little different, but virtually, yeah. It was like peanut butter and jelly with like some type of like chip, or thing. We had like Fritos or something like that, and a piece of fruit. That was pretty much it.
So no Gushers to trade.
Rarely, like when my mom was feeling generous, she would get the small pack of like 6, to split between me and my sister, and so for a couple days, every so often, I'd have Gushers or fruit snacks or something. But nope, it's just the PB&J. I demolished those Uncrustables for a long time.
Oh, they're so good though, dude. I didn't eat those until WWE.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like so Yuta, WWE always has Uncrustables backstage, like just hanging around in the snack area and in the catering area. Awesome. Yeah, dude, they're really good. I never had them until then.
Yeah, I would crush them, and then when we had them in catering, I was like, oh, they're bad.
Just your childhood comes rushing back.
Oh yeah, I every night, like me and Gable would take 2 or 3 before we would go back to the hotel or something. 3 Uncrustables and like 6 bottles of water. That was the go-to leaving meal.
Yeah. Oh my God, they have so many bottles of water.
Do you guys just like take food from catering all the time? Mm-hmm. I feel like I would take everything.
That's 100%. They leave to-go boxes and everything for you.
Oh, that's awesome. Nice. I feel like even like.
Do they give it to you or something like that at the end of the night?
What's that? So
like catering. I always thought about that.
I mean, it's there, like the stagehands and the crew, like the local guys, can come in and finish it off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And like they prep for that too. It's amazing, like what they do.
Oh yeah, dude. Every step of the line.
All right, let's see what else is in the chat. What else are people talking about here?
Is your cousin Jackson on, or is it a different?
No, that's Jackson. That's my cousin.
That's your cousin?
That's my definitely a 27-year-old man who's not a 14-year-old or younger.
Not a 14-year-old child.
Not a child.
Is that your audience? 14-year-olds? Is that what you're looking for?
My range is from 8 to 56. That's my market that I found.
No one younger or older. No.
No. I mean, we might have had some older people in it. I don't know. I can't tell. All right, let's see. Hold on. Everyone's just talking about school lunches in this thing. Question for Matt from the Roni Mac 7. Do you still do dumbbell bridging push-ups? They are insane.
I busted them out probably 2 or 3 times since I put the video out with Seamus. They're freaking only when I'm feeling froggy. Like I can't. That's not a regular thing for sure.
Dude, how much like feedback did you get from doing a video with Seamus?
Tons. And everybody mentioned that in particular, that exercise that we did. But dude, the guys built an incredible little community and channel there.
Yeah.
And, have you seen his home gym, his garage gym?
I mean, just what's been online of it. I haven't. Yeah.
But it looks great. It's not just a garage gym, but he's got it all painted like professionally, with his logo and everything. It's like, holy crap, it looks like a real gym.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. A couple of guys I think have that now.
It's like Planet Seamus.
Yeah. Like Gable's got a sweet gym by his place too.
Gable's I've gotten to work out at Gable's.
Yeah.
And he's only added equipment since then.
Okay.
Him and Doe's work out there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But his is pretty sick.
Yeah.
But no, I had fun. I ran. The Seamus one was so random too, because I wasn't even in the city. I was living in the suburbs, and he texted me like the day before and was like, "Hey mate, like I'm gonna be in Chicago for this thing. You want to do like an episode?" And I was like, "What?" I'm like, "What the hell are you doing here?" Because like the TV or nothing was gonna be here. So it turns out he was going to some like chocolate factory, which actually wasn't far from my house.
That's cool.
I think Snickers or Hershey or something. Somebody has like a plant or like a distribution center near us, and he was going to do media there. And so like literally he did that. Like ran to my gym, which was like an LA Fitness. We filmed that, and then he ran and caught a plane. It was crazy.
Wow. He's a hustler. That's good advice, though. I think that's other good advice. Like I always try to tell Yuta, like branch out on social media and experiment with different stuff. Like now's the time, because like you're building your audience, and you can do anything.
And especially right now, because like we were saying, I mean, concerts, movies, shows, all this stuff aren't going on. I mean, people are taking in content and entertainment right, through their computers, through their phones, at home. And depending on where they are, stuff like that. So, now's the time to delve into. If you have any hobbies or anything that you want to explore or share with people, now's the time to really branch into that.
Yeah, or even if you don't have any hobbies, pretend you do.
Yeah. Make some crap up.
Yeah, find some.
There's a million things you can unbox.
I mean, he's actually a really good steel drummer, but he doesn't have a steel drum with him right now.
That's true. I don't have it with me. That was my bread and butter during quarantine, just playing a steel drum song every day. But yeah, my drum's not up here, unfortunately.
Steel drum just makes me think of The Office and Michael playing "Feeling hot."
Yeah, right.
Feeling hot, and that's it.
That was our big closer for. When I first started, we played in elementary school in a band, and that was our closer. It was hot.
That was the finish? That was the finale?
Yeah, that was it. That was the end.
Come on, finish. Go out with your best number.
Yeah, that was the best one we had.
So I'm happy, right?
Yeah, definitely. I remember one time we were playing for like an older crowd, and our like teacher was like, "Hey guys, just throwing this out there. What if instead of playing Hot 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 at the end, we played In the Mood?" And I was like, "You got it, for this like retirement community." Yeah. So we played. He was like, "It's like '50s big band stuff. They'll love it." So that was our.
Oh, your audience.
Yeah.
How was the crowd that day?
It was great. Ocean Lakes campground was bumping for our 4th grade steel performance.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right?
Yeah, I don't think, as an indie wrestler, I don't think I ever wrestled for like a retirement home or anything like that before.
No?
No.
Years later, we tried to get our bad indie promotion to run a show there, and they wouldn't let us.
Oh. What was their reason?
We tried.
You know?
They just didn't want wrestling. I don't know why.
Probably too violent.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
What was the craziest indie show you've ever done? Like audience-wise?
Me?
Yeah. Like weirdest crowd.
Crazy. I don't know. I've done like fairs. I've done like parking lots.
Yeah.
I remember my last show when I was doing like Michinoku Pro.
I've done parking lots. Like that's fun. Come on.
Yeah, right. That's my first like 5 matches were in a parking lot of a Bilo on the same day. Right. I just remember.
How many rows? About 8 rows deep.
Yeah, 8 rows deep. I remember my last show in like Michinoku Pro was like at a parking deck, and they didn't put chairs out, so it was like people sitting on the ground in parking spaces at a mall somewhere, and that's where we wrestled. Like Hakushi's wrestling, and I'm like, this is weird. But yeah, that's probably the weirdest. I don't know.
I love it.
Yeah,
I miss that kind of stuff for sure.
It's so good, so weird.
I remember wrestling in a used car lot.
Oh yeah,
nice.
For WWE.
Really?
Really?
I mean, it was FCW, to be totally fair. But I remember it being so weird. I'm like, hey, I know it was the early days, but like my check says WWE, but I'm wrestling in a lot.
Yep.
And it was for Cinco de Mayo, and so they had. I remember this is the carny stuff we had going on back then.
Yeah.
So it was booked by that guy Alfred. If you've ever heard of this guy from the FCW days, he's in the documentary or whatever. He booked this show, Cinco de Mayo show. We had this Hispanic Mexican wrestler who they had like just signed, and like he had some experience. Between you, me, and the whole audience, he was not very good.
Okay.
Like he still had a lot of like seasoning that needed to happen. But he had a mask and he had a Mexican name. And so they put him in the main event against, I think it was Damian Sandow at the time.
Wow.
But I remember wrestling on that show. The entrance was like from the office, like the trailer office, coming down on the ramp. And of course the mats are on the ring are black, and it's May in Florida.
Mm-hmm. And so those mats hurt when you lay on them.
Yeah, you get shit canned, pardon my French, and you just hit the ground and you sell up like, oh my freaking god, because it's a shoot.
Yeah, burn your skin.
Yeah,
burning so hot, so they keep dying to get back in the ring. It was so freaking like weird and low rent, but great memory though. I'll tell you that much.
So was that Steve Kern who was booking then?
Kern was there at the time, but like it was this guy Alfred. Who did a lot of our like promotion and stuff.
Okay.
It was kind of, I think it was his deal. He had like hooked it up or whatever.
But was Alfred like? So was he before FCW? What was he doing in wrestling?
Nothing.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Wow.
The guy who knew Steve Kern. And he had a print shop that could do posters and stuff. So I think he knew Steve from the wrestling day. He would help make posters and print materials for wrestling. He never actually promoted wrestling though.
But I love that he gave you guys like the authentic indie wrestling experience.
Oh yeah.
Like without Albert, you wouldn't have had that. and being in FCW. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Was Dr. Tom like running all the training then?
So when I first got there, before, when it was still FCW and before we transitioned to NXT, Doc was like the head trainer and everything. And so I love Doc. Doc's awesome. He's got his new school with Glenn. Good old
right.
Which is awesome. Between the two of them, that's another great school that's opened up now. So I love Doc though at the time. Like, I mean, he's a sassy bastard, and I hated doing Man in the Middle with him. But oh god, it was one of the worst drills ever.
Which one was Man in the Middle?
So Man in the Middle was where you were in the middle. There were a guy in each corner, and it was basically like, all right, now someone's going to feed out from each corner and do like headlock takeovers. So they come out and grab him, headlock takeover, boom. Next guy, headlock takeover, boom. Four in a row. Sometimes even 2 times 3. So it'd be like 8 in a row. And then it was, all right, now same guy, stay in there. Hip toss.
Yeah.
Arm drag. Basically a bunch of basic takeovers or takedowns. Single leg, whatever, ankle pick. But you'd be in there if you did a full round, if you were in there for about 30, 40 minutes.
Right. Wow. So like that kind of drill is really good. Not only for the guy obviously trying to get conditioned in the middle of the ring, but for the boys having to work with someone who might not necessarily be in the best condition, or who is winded. Like that changes up your pacing entirely. Yeah, I think that's cool.
It sucked. You hated to have to do it, but it was absolutely good training.
Yeah, because that's stuff you won't learn until you start doing full matches, on the regular.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that'd be like stuff that he would just call out to you, like he would be like, whatever the guy's name was, like hip toss, like that kind of stuff, or how would that go?
Whoever's in the middle, it'd be like, all right, he would tell you whatever the first thing was. So it was like hip tosses, and we were always starting in one corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Okay, arm drags. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ankle pick. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's a killer drill.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Between that and then some of the drills Joey Mercury would put us through.
Oh, he's great.
He's fantastic, but his blow-up drills, I've never seen stars before until I did a blow-up drill of his.
What did he have you doing? Which one?
I mean, they weren't crazy complicated, but it would just be like a running spot, no bumps, but you would just do it like 20 to 30 times in a row. So like me and somebody would do something where it was like, what was it? You shoot the guy off. It was a duck under. He grabs you by the waist, runs you in for an O'Connor roll. You roll back. He comes in. You feet up. You pick him up for a body slam. Put him down on his feet. So and then you shove him off again. Now and then you do like the opposite. He rolls you in. Roll back. Pick up the guy. Put him down. Shoot him off. But like you pick up a guy. You're picking each other up 25 times each.
Yeah.
Doing a bunch of stuff in between. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's a trick I learned from the Maximo brothers, the SATs. I think they were doing extra work or something like in the early 2000s, and someone was trying to big league them, and they'd been wrestling for a long time at this point, and they said, okay, we're going to get this guy back. And so they just kept calling body slam to this dude, and this guy just had to keep body slamming him over and over and over and over again. So like all he's doing is just feeding up and like getting thrown, and the other guy's lifting him and slamming him over and over again, and like by the 5th time he was dead.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so like that's a great blow. I mean, just to lift someone up, it's crazy. So I mean, somehow it was even worse though, because like if your body, I can get rid of him or whatever. But like to lift him up and then to like reverse direction, momentum, and like put them back down on their feet.
Oh yeah.
Just to run into something else is crazy.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. Or awful, whatever you want to use.
No, it sounds like really smart, like the way that because when you come up with drills like that, at least when I try to come up with drills like that, I'm thinking about like the mechanics, more than anything, because that's you're training someone's balance, more than anything. Like, it's not just about, okay, they got to be strong enough, but it's like, no, it's a balancing act when you're on the fly like that.
And it's a lot of the guy too, to be fair, like the guy who is getting slammed, getting lifted up, posting right, and making himself light and swinging their legs up so that it's not just like a deadlift struggle,
right,
and stuff like that. It really shows you about that. It takes two to tango.
Yeah, it conditions your stability and your footwork, which would enhance your poise and essentially make you like appear larger than life, which is kind of what we do. So that there's so many like little things that come out of those drills.
Yeah.
Ooh, I miss training. Ah, man, I miss training.
Right? I know, dude. I haven't been in the ring in so long. Like I do, I'm chomping at the bit for when shows start back up again. I'm gonna blow up so freaking hard. I can't wait to have like my first match with somebody. So it's gonna be some guy I don't know him, but I'm gonna be like, let's slow down, brother. Like let's tell a story and really
you're gonna be that guy. You're that guy now.
Let's really work that wrist lock. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be especially bad for you because they're gonna be super excited too.
Of course.
It's gonna be especially bad.
This is my chance.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll never forget when Colin Delaney came back to the Indies after his WWE run, which was only like a year or something, but he was on the road every day working with like top guys.
Yeah.
It was so funny because I knew him before then, and he was down to do every move we could do, anything new and innovative we would try out, and like risky stuff, all that stuff. But as soon as he came back, he's like, whoa, brother. He's like, maybe we'll just do like one thing. And I was just like, all right, cool. Like I haven't known him for years at this point, like it's funny because he was the quintessential, like what you expect, like the WWE mentality of when you leave compared to like an indie mentality, which I don't know. The longer I've been with the company, the more I realize that doesn't really exist. It's just formatting more than anything.
Yeah. It's true.
But I love that. I love that like what Yuta was just telling you. Like they're gonna be excited, and now you're gonna be like, hey,
all this stuff. You do this, and I'm gonna be, whoa, kid, you get 2 pumps.
Kid,
use them wisely. And I take him up on my finish, so that counts as 1.
Oh man.
No, I'm excited to do some stuff.
Yeah, I wish. Usually, so my buddy who's Denver, Colorado, he's promoter for Beyond Wrestling. He's usually in these chats.
Man.
I wish he would have popped on today.
He was for a little bit in the chat.
He was in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he could have met you and then brought you out to Worcester or wherever they're running next, if they do run again.
They have a ring now, so
yeah.
I hope Jerry bought a ring.
All right, let's see what else we got going on in the chat here. Question for us. Funniest match you've been in that you tried to stop laughing but couldn't? That's a very specific question. Stop laughing but couldn't.
That's tough.
I don't know. I laugh all the time in my matches. Like you might not see it, but like I just have fun when I'm out there.
It's got to be a tag match.
Yeah.
I figured just because I've had a lot of times where, just being out on the apron and somebody's doing something funny, or if you're in like a multi-team match and like there's 2 other guys doing some goofy stuff. I remember when we were wrestling like New Day and Usos and stuff like that on house shows.
Yeah, of course.
It's always on house shows where you see
it's a free-for-all. Honestly,
all right. The funniest match that I've been a part of was probably, I wasn't in it, so I was on tour with Rusev was wrestling. I was on the outside, and he was wrestling Jeff Hardy for the first half of the tour.
Yeah.
And so we would play a game on tour where we would challenge people at the beginning of the show like everybody has to, like the move of the show is flying headbutt, or is an overhead chop, or something like that, and like whoever can get the most into their matches wins, right? So we've got Jeff Hardy, who's this veteran, this legend. He's all about the Swanton, Team Extreme, and so we're like, we're doing like flying headbutt, and this man, he jumped in like a pro, I remember, like, he went up on the second rope, and like Rusev was hanging, and he went, boing. And like we would do it where, Rusev would do the thing like choking him on the rope, backs away with the ref, and normally that's me punching him on the outside.
Yeah.
But here I come down the apron, I'm flying head, stupid stuff like that, and like, but Jeff like went all in, like would boom, and instead of like dropping a leg drop or something like that, would hit the ropes, do a big like flying headbutt onto Rusev's chest and stuff like that. It's just funny to see, like, just go all in with both feet. So I just remember I was on the outside laughing like the whole time. I couldn't believe he was actually doing it.
Oh, that's amazing. I know Brian Kendrick used to do this thing for 205. Or no, not 205 Live. At, like, whenever we were off or whenever we'd have to like stand at Raw and just kind of hang out, we'd hang in Gorilla, and Brian Kendrick would we would gamble watching the show. And Brian would always try to get what was he's like, whoever does like a school like O'Connor roll first gets $5. Whatever, it was always a different move every day, and someone would pick the move, and then the first match that did it, the guy would get like a tenner or something like that.
I mean, I remember him telling me, and it was always...
He says, you win when you come to the back. And you're like, what are you talking about? He's like, I lost. He's like, no, pal, you win. And he'd give you like a $10.
Because he made it. He had a kind of a weird, and I don't know if he intended it, but like an inherent lesson in it. He would pick some of the most mundane maneuvers. Yeah. And he's like, right.
But he would purposely pick stuff that people didn't do. Like,
he's like,
man, it's been a while since I've seen tackle hip toss. Like that kind of thing. And then when someone would do it, he'd freak out, be like, oh, you know.
But the most basic stuff, and you're like, I remember he did something like, it was like duck the clothes, like, like an O'Connor roll or something like that. And I'm like, surely, that'll be in match 1. They're like, right? Like an O'Connor roll, like, and we would be like, holy crap, it's like 8:30. It's like 90 minutes into the show. Nobody's done it.
Yeah. Another one I like that he did would be like, just shoot the guy off and give him a clothesline. Back elbow that hits. Yeah, just shoot him off and give him something. Like, that's how he'd say it.
And it actually works without being reversed or ducked.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, you go all night, you wouldn't see it.
And it's like, it's true that it really like wakes you up to like what trends happen in wrestling. Like, everyone feels like they gotta use a transition to get to the next thing, as opposed to just kind of letting it happen organically. All right, I'm gonna bring Denver, Colorado from Beyond Wrestling actually is going to jump on with us, so you get to meet him too. Nice. I'm actually happy about this because he's a regular on the Gabbin with Gulak Power Hour on the chat.
Denver,
hello, Padre.
Man. Oh, there he is.
What's up?
What you doing, man?
I don't know what bright light you got on your face right now, but you are looking like Zordon from the Rangers right at the moment.
So I got some bad news. I got a real bad sunburn today, and for some reason, this is just what I look like now. I feel like that helped a little bit.
That helped a lot.
There you go. There you go, Denver.
I don't want you to see how red I am, though.
Please introduce yourself to Mr. Aiden English, a.k.a. Matt Rehwoldt.
What's up, dude? I got this T-shirt on.
I can't see
and it's well, you're gonna, because I'm gonna hopefully not show my dinky, but it's a bootleg of the Boneyard match, and it's AJ Styles and Undertaker.
You are a specimen.
So stupid.
90s wrestling shirt style too.
Yeah. So.
Can you send me that?
What's going on? No, these bootlegs are like one and done. The links don't stay up, so nobody gets sued. Yeah.
So yeah, we're just hanging out. We were just talking. What were we talking about just a second ago? Oh, we were talking to Brian Kendrick gambling backstage.
On O'Connor rolls.
How was your week?
Oh, it's good. It's great. I went to a farm today. I got to see a horse. That's how I got sunburned. Yeah, I got to see some goats. I got to see a guinea hen.
What?
I think that's what it's called. I don't know. If not, I'm just like wildly offensive on Drew Gulak's Twitch stream. I'm pretty sure it's called a guinea hen.
I don't think that's there's a problem with that. I think that's an animal.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Guinea fowl is a thing.
Yeah. And they make really wild noises. I thought it was a machine at first. I was like, "What's going on in this What's going on in this farm?" Like, it sounded like I picture like when you're pumping a minecart or something. I was like, "What am I like? Is somebody like drilling for oil or something?" And I went behind the barn and it was just this one animal, and I was like, "This is unbelievable." I didn't take a picture of it though. Yeah, guinea fowl. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, guinea horn, guinea what hen?
Oh, they're cool looking.
Yeah, they are pretty cool. So I guess they're really helpful, especially in this neck of the woods where the farm is actually in the woods. They eat almost exclusively ticks, from what I understand. So it helps keep the other animals on the farm safe, but they're just really loud.
Well, I'm glad you had a fun day at the farm. Did they have to do social distancing at the farm?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then we all went a pool, so I don't know. Is it like if you're still 6 feet apart in water? It's mostly respiratory, right? We don't know if the chlorine kills it.
I was going to say, does chlorine kill coronavirus?
So we're going from guinea hens to guinea pigs now, because now we're the ones that are experimenting as whether or not we can be safe in a pool.
Well, we're going to find out.
I'll let you know in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'll send you the medical bill.
Sure. Let us know, man.
Yeah, send me the medical bill.
Yeah. You and Dr. Fauci. What are you guys doing? Video game stuff? Why does my mic keep my camera? I don't know what's going on. I'm ready for bed.
No, we're talking about everything. Like we started it off with some whiskey chat. Like I got my Jim Beam apple.
Oh, okay. Is that like shunned, like the flavored whiskeys? Yeah. I kind of figured.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea.
Yeah, by the dorky purists it is, but at the end of the day, I mean, they make it for a reason. It makes some money, so there are people out there that like it. So, business is business.
Yeah, basic bitches like me.
I feel like I had one that was infused with peanut butter a couple months ago, but maybe it was another
Screwball.
It's probably called Screwball.
Yep, that sounds about right. Somebody brought it over. I tried it once. It was good. I'm not a big drinker, but
it's pretty.
But when I drink big. Look at Yuta, yawny Yuta. Put him to bed.
Just yawning over here.
I haven't seen you in like a month. Did you get even more jacked?
Dude, I've been doing my best. I don't know. It's weird. I'm back in Philly, so it's like I have to find my whole workout routine again.
Pop the top. Let's get a big flex on camera.
Dude, I don't.
Yeah, P that T.
I've got this great Dominic Greeny shirt on. I don't want to take it off right now, man.
P that T.
Fair enough.
Rip it off like Hulk.
How will people know he's a purple belt if it's not for this shirt?
You got no. What do you got? What was your situation going on? I think you brought the camera a little too low.
Oh, did I? Oh no, I'm sorry.
All right, this one guy keeps asking if we can hear a version of Developmental Blues. What is that?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know what's being requested.
Can you explain that first?
I don't think it's. I think it's like the blue, like just singing about developmental, like the developmental blues.
Oh.
I think it's making like a joke like that. I don't know.
It's not like an actual song that you have lyrics to.
There's no like backstory or real thing that I know of called developmental blues. I think he's just asking me to sing.
Sing about developmental.
Yeah, just singing BS about developmental.
It sounds like this person assumes that you have like a full track that was released on an album at some point.
Yeah, have you written a crazy song about developmental?
Maybe I should. Maybe I'll play
this guy says Aiden English did it in a promo class video. Yeah, he's gonna remember that. Apparently,
apparently one day in promo class.
Promos every week for 52 weeks a year for every year of my life. For 4 or 5 years. A lot of promos.
Thanks for the question, Dylan. The Dude Games. Appreciate it.
Oh, appreciate it. No idea. I'm sure I did. I 100% believe you. I was throwing a lot at the wall at developmental. I was throwing a lot of ideas against the wall.
Anything stand out?
Drama King stuff. Like I would do Shakespeare sonnets and did a couple of like show tunes where I would change the words to match wrestling and stuff like that.
Okay, so like stuff that you actually did use and formed into
That's
a character.
that's the stuff that kind of landed and went all the way through.
Yeah.
As far as like stuff that just never turned into anything, Simon and Gotch and I did develop the puppets. Gotch did the puppet stuff out of like styrofoam and felt and everything like that. We ended up doing several promos with that, which was weird and entertaining.
Yeah.
I remember in FCW, I came up with a character because I was desperate to come up with something named Milo, and it was like something out of Alice in Wonderland. Like I came in wearing this like purple T-shirt that was 3 sizes too small, like high green socks, like short shorts. Like it was like a.
Was there a backstory to him?
Like he was like this weird fanciful who would he would try to like lead you on like to find your message and what are you gonna like. I would speak in riddles.
You're inhabiting him now. Keep going.
Kind of, yeah. Like it was like a troll almost, like right. Like I speak in riddles and like I almost like I don't remember what he said. Like I had the pentameter and stuff like that, and like mystical things, and like I had a hat on and all this stuff. I was just trying to pop Dream at that point.
Oh, gotcha.
So, yeah, that only lasted 1 promo, but it sticks out in my mind.
That's great.
You said the character's name was Milo? This reminds me of, you guys know Brian Malonis?
Sort of. Yeah. I don't think
he's with the Ring of Honor. He's with Beer City Bruiser now.
Is he still huge?
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
So he went away for a little bit, and I thought that it would be great if he came back and shortened his name from Malonis to Milo, and maybe he had like a long cigarette and like a French beret, and like he kind of redesigned himself as a fashionista, but like a big 400, 500 pound guy coming out in like real fancy clothes. Yeah. So there's something about Milo in pro wrestling that there's a lot of good ideas. I think it's a great name.
It is an interesting name. It sticks out.
Maybe we'll save it for season 3.
Season 3 on track.
Yeah, what's the update? When's that going to happen? When's Jerry Wrestling coming back? Jerry's the promoter, or one of the what was Jerry considered now? The owner of IndependentWrestling.tv? Is that it?
Not just Independent Wrestling TV. All of Independent Wrestling all goes through Jerry now.
Okay.
So if you're not going through Jerry, it doesn't count.
Vin Gerard owns Independent Wrestling.
Yeah. I don't know. What's the latest? Yeah, I popped in for a little bit where you guys were talking about shows coming up and the potential size of the crowd and kind of being unsure. I'm taking a slower approach, keeping an eye on GCW next weekend and ICW the weekend after that. And, everything in New England, Rhode Island, Massachusetts is just moving much slower than other parts of the country, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I would wager to guess we'd probably be doing shows without fans and then looking to do shows outdoors with fans. But there's a ton of Japanese content that's been coming over to IWTV. There was an excellent special that J Rose put together on Thursday that was the best of Black independent wrestling. Cool. With all the proceeds being donated to different organizations that support Black Lives Matter. So
where can someone watch that?
That's iwtv.live,
And that's still,
which is the website for independent wrestling TV. Yep, they put the video on demand up almost instantly. And so, like, even if you watch it now, even though it's not live, you know, the way that promoters get paid out is based on hours watched. So instead of paying out the promoters, the donation gets tracked and it'll be donated to charities.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm surprised no one else has done anything like that. It took too long, as far as I'm concerned. But hopefully it's not. Hopefully we'll see more of it, and hopefully it inspires more people to, you know, be using their platforms to make sure to put more eyes on the Black community, especially within wrestling. Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe we'll also run a wrestling show at a farm. Maybe that's why I was at a farm today. So.
Were you really? You were scouting that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Somebody's making an entrance on a horse.
Yeah, right.
You know what would look great on a horse? Milo.
Yeah, I love it. He's under exclusive contract, so. Well, one of them is.
You got another Milo.
You got another Milo. You run out of one Milo, you got to back up Milo. They got millions of Milos.
Just to...
I don't know, wrestling shows. What about like just the like physical contact, like being that close to somebody else for an extended period of time?
It's a crapshoot, brother.
Yeah, it's one guy, right? Roll the dice.
I don't know. It depends. Like, is it one guy or is it everybody else that's been in the? It's everybody else that's been in the ring that day, like.
Or it's everybody else that person's been in contact with for the last week. You know what I mean? From whatever city they're from.
Yeah. Very true.
I think there should be no more shows. I think wrestling should. You know what? Wrestling had a good run. Let's call it.
Shut it down.
All of it. Just shut it down.
Yeah,
shut it down.
Why not? We'll figure it out other things.
Yeah.
All right, what are you going to replace it with for you?
For me personally?
Yeah.
Ooh, I always wanted to learn how to What? What's so funny?
Go ahead.
I didn't even say what I wasn't even going to say anything funny.
I just
You're
like
laughing
the
at
way
me.
you started that conversation right there.
I've always wanted to learn how to sail a boat.
Not what I was expecting you were going to say.
Yeah. I growing up in Rhode Island, I moved to Ohio when I broke into wrestling. A couple of years later, I came back, and I realized in that period of time, there's something about the ocean that calls to me, and I really want to do something nautical.
Like
with maybe. I saw Moana at your apartment.
Oh my God! Oh yeah,
that's the only time I ever saw it. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I would love to learn how to sail a boat, and especially after seeing like what boats are capable of. Like the time that we went on Biff's dad's boat, and it was like a full house on a boat.
That's Oni Lorcan.
He's in Texas now. He don't need it now.
Uninitiated.
Yeah. Oni's dad's got a sick boat. No, he probably sold it because he went to Texas. He's landlocked now. Or at least the part of Texas that he's in. I know that there's the Gulf. Is there ocean on the west side too? No.
Weird term.
What's a weird term?
No, I said it's a weird turn.
Oh. What are you gonna do if there's no wrestling, Yuta?
Do you remember that robot fighting league show that Chris Jericho used to host after SmackDown on Sci-Fi? I think just that. You know,
okay.
Hop in on that.
I had a very similar idea. I was like, I'm like, same thing, like BattleBots.
I love
BattleBots.
Yeah.
So pro wrestling can't work, so we can't have human on human contact, right? But nobody's saying we can't have human on robot contact.
Wait,
I want to see humans fighting the BattleBots. Like the little things driving around, they got the axe going and like the spinning blades, and you're just like, crap, just trying to stomp on it and everything like that.
So the humans don't get weapons?
No. Maybe they're hitting around the arena, and like you have to like climb to them, like off the course and stuff like that. Yeah.
This is good.
Between this and my whiskey,
I'm in.
I should be freaking rolling in Netflix money.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
How about you, Drew? What would you do if wrestling went away?
Well, not fight robots.
No?
You're going to miss out on the greatest trend to ever hit this country. So.
I mean, I would commentate the show, but I wouldn't be in it. But only if like it wasn't like you're trying to murder people. I would do it if there was like you could wear armor and stuff. And, I would call it at a knockout. You know, like that's fine for me. That's enough physical violence for me with robots. I don't trust them.
So you'd have like
what?
You'd have like a UFC fight with a robot, but you wouldn't like fight to the death.
Yeah, I want to give the people a chance. Like you're just asking, like, was like Man versus Car? Was that the thing on Rick and Morty or something, where the human fights a car and he just gets run over?
That's so stupid.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's what I think of. Like it's not. You can't do that. You can't just kill people.
If you just programmed robots to fight each other, though, you take that like the human element out of what makes wrestling appealing, as far as I'm concerned, which is the real life danger.
But there is. See, you're saying strictly program the robots. I would suggest as like an avatar of yourself, not like the movie Avatar. That's a little deep. Have you seen the movie Avatar?
Never.
No, it's about these guys who go into space and they try to mine other planets, but then they use avatars of the native alien species to link up with them and then harvest their resources. But the one guy falls in love with the culture. So yeah. Anyway,
way to explain a 3-hour.
I'm really disappointed.
My point is, it's still human versus human, even though they're using robots to fight each other.
Well, it's just a video game.
Just like
at that
Avatar.
No.
Or Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
There's no drama there. There's no stakes. You need something on the line. I'm not saying murder.
We're saying murder. You're saying the guy has to survive.
Somebody's got to win. Like, all right, it doesn't have to just be like death. You know, you have to defeat the machine.
You couldn't book a wrestling show with just robots?
Of course you could.
Well, then that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but we're pretty far away from humanoid robots that can, run, tackle, drop down, get it.
You don't need the same kind of... You're thinking too small. You got to think like... I'm thinking BattleBots, OG. They get onto the thing, they flip it over. Maybe one guy's a big buzzsaw. That's all they got to work with. Apply the same psychology now to BattleBots.
That's what I'm saying. We've already been there.
No, we didn't. We didn't apply storytelling to that. It was UFC. And that's why it didn't take off.
Oh, you want like storylines?
Yes! I want promos with the robots beforehand, interview segments. I want a Mean Gene robot.
Yeah, an interview with a robot sounds awesome.
Well, it would look like a dirt devil, but instead of the axe, it would just have a microphone.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Dusty the Killer Machine slept with your wife, robot. Killzone, what are you gonna do?
See, you're already writing content.
Boy, howdy! That's fantastic.
I love it.
They could do so much different stuff too, because they're not limited to our human bodies. You know, pile drivers wouldn't have to be banned.
How's a square machine on 4 wheels?
They could have fire matches.
Have anything.
Not even like inferno matches, like straight up fire bombs throwing at each other.
So what would be a banned move in the realm of robot wrestling?
Humans.
Yeah, what's the DQ?
I don't know.
Just humans.
Human interference is the only DQ.
I mean, what is there a cheap shot? Like, I don't know.
A second robot comes out from behind, like a run-in, like a robot run-in.
So this would have to be, I guess the Commission of Robot Fighting would have to come up with the rules, obviously, if there's tag ropes and stuff like that, what the count is.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Do we have an athletic commission for this?
They're valets.
Of course.
Tag team robot wrestling. You just blew my mind.
So like, I don't want to see the like the little battle bot spots with like that. I don't know. Those were they're like remote control cars. I don't want to see that.
That was 20 years ago.
15
years ago.
So
technology has changed.
The robots we need to use are. Have you seen like the I think they're developing them for like bomb diffusion and stuff. They look like almost dogs. They have like the 4 legs and they look really creepy.
Oh, you're talking like the
It can,
Like the Black
climb up-
Mirror robots, like Metalhead.
Are those real, or is that just like a Facebook spoof?
Those are real.
Those are very,
Those
very
are real.
So like, I want to see a couple of those like going at it.
What about like the parkour robots that can like balance themselves?
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
I like that human technology has progressed to like where we're almost creating other people, but they can do superhuman feats. Like, what do we do with it?
Or we take these sex robots and we just have them fight each other, or get down with each other.
What if they fought the parkour robots? Yeah.
That too.
Or got down with the parkour robots. Like, think of the promos and the content, man.
That's the after hours entertainment.
That's the 10 to 11
That's
portion.
the HBO kind of.
Right.
That's
From
the
8 to 10, it's just parkour robots. From 10 to 11, it's you can throw in a sex robot here and there.
Sure, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Take my money.
So that's what I would probably do during, if wrestling didn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. In conclusion, that.
My boat idea sounds really lame.
I do got to bounce. Actually, my wife's about to get home from work.
Okay.
And but thanks for having me on, Drew.
Yeah, thanks for popping in, dude. What a surprise. What a nice surprise. I'm glad to see you.
That was awesome.
Sweet. Good to meet you guys as well.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Nice to meet you, man.
Is there
That was
anything you
awesome.
want to plug to our how many viewers we got right now? I don't even know. I'm looking around. About 100 people. I don't know. What do you want to tell them?
I mean, no, just mostly. I mean, it's on the social stuff is Drama King Matt, and other than that, look up Wrestling with Whiskey. That's the other kind of major thing I do. And I'll be back on Twitch under Drama King Matt too, if you guys want to check it out. So, other than that, I'll see you guys on the flip.
All right. Thanks, Matt. I'll talk to you soon.
Oh, thank you guys. Peace.
Bye.
Nice to meet you, man.
Well, that was a nice surprise.
Great guy.
Yeah, he's the
That's
man.
super cool. He's so
Really
nice.
creative.
He's the man. I can't believe that he doesn't work for WWE right now.
I was popping in and out. I know that he has a show coming up. Is he going to be wrestling, or is he just doing appearances for now?
He's
He's
ready
going
to
to
get back in the ring, man. Yeah.
be top guy that I would, of all the recent releases, top guy I probably want to work with.
Well, then I will send you his contact info.
We don't have shows, but yeah, send me his contact.
I mean, you can still produce content. This is something we've been talking about forever, about doing other stuff.
Or you can invite him to the farm. Just hang out.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
I think he'd have a good time.
Oh my god, he would love Beyond Wrestling so much.
I was like putting a whole hand over my White Claw while I was drinking it because I felt embarrassed with all of his fancy whiskey.
What? You made me.
Yeah, I was just.
You let me sit here with my shitty apple.
Yeah, dude.
bourbon?
For like an hour, for 2 hours, I've been doing like this.
I'm the most like so uncomfortable. It defeats the point of even drinking because it's just like making you have more anxious moments.
Yeah, exactly. I was just like, oh no, I'm so out of my league. All
Yeah.
right.
You're not high quality enough for this stream. For Gabbin with Gulak.
Alan just got into whiskey and bourbon and all those types of libations. He's usually a beer guy, but he's like, oh yeah, $80 bottle, $100 bottle. But how long does it take you to drink that? You're gonna have. I don't know.
You savor it, unless you're Chuck E. T, and then you go through them pretty quick.
I guess so.
I tried to buy him like really cheap liquor one time though, and it stayed there till they moved out of their apartment. It was there for 2 years.
So, Orange Cassidy, he's gonna wrestle Chris Jericho at some point, right?
Yeah, of course.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a tag match next week.
And Mike Tyson will be the referee, you think? Or you think Tyson?
That's such a crazy sentence.
I have no inside scoops or anything like that. I'm not ditching dirt with Drew, but I'm just watching and
That's the
being a fan
segment.
of
I wish
Orange
I had like a cutaway segment I could do. I could hit a button and like some news logo would fly in and be ditching dirt with Drew.
Yeah. Maybe Orange Cassidy will wrestle Mike Tyson.
That's the real draw.
That's crazy.
Me. No offense to Christopher. Yeah, that's the big one.
Or maybe Orange Cassidy will do a celebrity boxing match, which would be so awesome.
Him and Frankie Picard. Drew, have you ever seen that?
Frankie
What are
Picard,
you talking about?
celebrity boxing. Frankie
What?
Picard doing celebrity boxing. Have you not seen this?
You're talking about my trainee Frankie Picard,
Yeah, he does celebrity boxing.
the same guy. He's a celebrity boxer.
Yeah.
He's not a celebrity, and he's not a boxer. So why is he doing celebrity boxing?
I don't know, but check it out. It's in the same like showboat room that like GCW runs.
Oh my god, is there
It's
footage
pretty
of this?
incredible. Oh yeah, all over his Instagram.
Why have I not?
Dave
seen
McCall
this?
turned me on to it. Dave McCall loves it.
Does he just fight celebrities?
No, he just
celebrity want your ass kicked, like instead
Who are
of
these
taking
celebrities?
Yeah.
no, like Frankie, I love you, but he just does bad like scripted boxing matches.
Oh,
like he just
yay.
takes. Yeah, it's just like
That's
him
just
doing
as
a
good.
boxing match, and then he takes a dive at the end. Is pretty much what it is. The one match I've watched is just like bad boxing, and then takes a dive.
I want to know
Frankie,
what the Jersey Athletic
what it
Convention
is.
thinks of this.
I don't know.
Well, it's a real sport, so
Whistleblower.
watch them have like some kind of theatrical pass. Like, oh, it's just a show. Okay, cool. And then they don't.
Yeah.
That's the one. Oh, celebrity boxing isn't included.
Oh man.
Drew, can I get like a big plug out of the way?
What do you need?
I really want to implore everybody that is watching right now on the Twitch to go to iwtv.live and sign up using promo code BEYOND. If we could get like 50, so like half the people in the room right now, to just bring up iwtv.live and sign up using promo code BEYOND, it would be a nice little treat for Jerry to wake up to see like 50 new subscribers. And then honestly, like, please watch the Best of Black Independent Wrestling special. It's so well done and it's so important.
I think a lot of our viewers are already signed up,
Well,
but we'd like to keep spreading that. So maybe
if
they
can find somebody that's not already signed up that they can say, hey, I like IWTV, and I think you'd like it too. So.
And then for people who might not know, maybe explain.
Sure. So it's a streaming website, subscription based. Over 200 promotions represented. It's going to be close to 250 now. Well over 6,000 hours of content, and live streams are going to be coming up with ICW on June 27th and July 4th. But then like Game Changer Wrestling, Beyond Wrestling,
And you said Japanese
Chikara.
wrestling will start to be streamed on there too.
Yeah.
I think.
Freedoms.
I was just gonna say. I think Freedoms just is back to doing shows, and I think that those will be up on IWTV soon. Big Japan is going to be on IWTV in some capacity. Dove Pro,
Sendai
I think. Sendai Girls. I think there was a promotion called Pure J that was just on tonight, or yesterday night, last night, as they say, colloquially.
Wait, Sendai has stuff on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
They
so
do.
cool. I'm gonna go look at it.
And the
they've
thing
been putting
is,
like their big stuff out first, right?
and that's the thing is, the better it performs, the quicker we can get the content from the bigger companies. So if like it's just so simple. Like if people watch it, then we get more stuff.
Yeah. Jerry was telling me like a lot of the at least some of the early I think promotions that he was working with like in Japan were kind of waiting to see like how did Sendai Girls do, how did Freedoms do, those ones. So once like if you go and support them, then the bigger companies will follow.
And to the best of my knowledge, I guess like subscription-based streaming services aren't really a thing that have taken off in Japan yet. But you've got to think that there's probably a lot of Japanese fans that follow American wrestling. So like this could be something that could really like popularize these kind of services across the pond.
Yo,
And to my knowledge, like yeah, it's on there.
Yeah.
You looking at it now?
They're my favorite, you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the best.
Mako.
Oh yeah.
Mako. Sorry, I'm really bad with all name pronunciation.
Best wrestler.
Nicest human being alive.
Also nicest human being.
But like to my knowledge, like any of the subscription services that they do have are not like IWTV in terms of like they're all encompassing. Like like they're very specific. Like New Japan World has New Japan, like that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Stardom World has Stardom, like that kind of stuff. But I don't think there's any like you can watch all this stuff.
Right. Well, that's what Jerry did. It was the first of its kind. You know, there wasn't
Yeah.
a unified independent wrestling. Like Smart Rock Video had like VOD, but that's not a live streaming service.
Well, you know, the timing of it. I mean, if it's something that you want to talk about with Evolve being in the headlines and stuff like that, but obviously FlowSlam, it seemed with all of the hype that was being, supporting its introduction, it seemed like that's what Flow Slam was going to be, and it just ended up only representing WWE. Because the first time the Flow Slam website launched, it had, I think, a WWE pay-per-view and 2 Ring of Honor pay-per-views, or maybe 2 WWE and 1 Ring of Honor, and it didn't. And it was just like, wow, like imagine a service that has all wrestling on it. And I mean, the fact that it was just limited to Evolve, Dragon Gate USA, FIP, but that, I think, even though they didn't fulfill that promise, I think that put the thought in a lot of people's ideas. And yeah, IWTV was the first to actually turn that idea into reality. And God, what an important thing for independent wrestling. I keep thinking about the Best of Black Independent Wrestling special, and there was a promotion. The match was used to be the headlining match for the special, and it was Trish Adora against Darius Lockhart, and it was for the main event. And I want to say that it was to crown the first Pan-African champion for this company called Fight Club Pro Wrestling, based in Washington, D.C. Yeah. And just people have a tendency to not check out things that they're not familiar with. It's understandable. But when you're watching a special like this and you get introduced to these wrestlers and you see, wow, like this is just as good as everything that I watch, if not better. Look at the atmosphere, look at the production, look at the quality of the performance. How come I haven't already heard about this? And then hopefully, by virtue of just being on the service that they're already subscribed to, I would hope that that promotion gets flooded with views because of the quality of that match. And if that represents everything that they're about, then that's going to grow their audience. It's like the synergy of all of the independent companies working together to build the biggest possible audience is going to be something that's going to be monumental in independent wrestling. Yeah. And I think we're well on our way. And I mean, that's not like, it's not like, oh my God, independent wrestling, so, screw every other type of wrestling. Like the indies, I think, are where a lot of the trends are started. And in other industries, I think we might have talked about this before. In other industries, the trends start at the top and trickle down. But I think with professional wrestling, the last couple of decades has shown the trends start on the independent level and find their way to the mainstream. They almost dictate in some ways what happens on the mainstream.
I feel like that's twofold. I definitely, as a wrestler, I think if someone sees a hot move on TV, right, for example, then it spreads throughout the indies. But I think overall, stylistically, that has bled upwards, trend-wise, for sure. Like guys working harder, that kind of stuff. Like I think that's fair.
I always thought that Chikara was really influential in that way, with that kind of Americanized style of Lucha Libre being brought in, and then seeing a lot of that make its way to television, not really getting enough credit for that. But I see your perspective with it being twofold.
A lot of people trained, with Quack and with Hero in seminars throughout all the 2000s. Like that was a big thing.
Dude,
it was the only place you could learn that style.
Don't you feel like Skida doesn't get the credit he deserves as like the guy who brought Lucha to America almost?
And Japan as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like there were dudes, like I was talking about Michinoku Pro earlier. There were dudes who were like, "Hey, Skida taught me this," and it's like stuff that Quack also taught me.
Yeah,
like it was crazy. Like he's the guy that brought that everywhere. Like people were doing it before.
He's the reason wrestling's so shitty now. It's all.
It's all Jorge's fault.
It's all Jorge's
no,
fault.
I just remember like Quack telling me like how difficult it used to be for him to learn Lucha. He would be like, it'd be me and Reckless Youth, and we'd be on a show, and randomly Super Crazy would be in the main event, and we'd have something we picked up from a tape. We'd ask him, "Hey, is this right?" And then he'd be like, "No, it's actually this way."
He always
and
does
be like,
that.
"Great."
He always says that.
Yeah, but it'd be like, "Yeah, great, thank you. We learned how to do one arm drag today."
Yeah.
And then Jorge comes over and they learn all this stuff. He's like, it was like mind blowing. He's like, before it was just like we'd ask the one luchador on the show. I'm like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for Mike to be able to retain all that knowledge and then be able to pass it to so many different classes of people that came through Chikara and other people that have done the seminars and other people that have learned from those within Chikara is just unbelievable.
Yep.
It's crazy. Drew, do you remember Hooters?
Yeah.
Do you remember that move? I thought it was crazy. It's so Denver, Colorado, the man, not the place. There's this move. It's like basically a monkey flip out of the ring. Like, imagine you're just
So you know that's not like the actual term for the move, right? That's just something we called it at Chikara practice.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm getting to. So it was like Eschacas con banderas is what it's actually. That's terrible Spanish, but it's like that's what it was called. But Mike remembers that some dude was wearing a Hooters shirt, and that's what Skyda called it that day. Some dude was wearing like a Hooters shirt, and I was like, the fact that he could tell us that whole story that happened like 15 years earlier.
Yeah.
And he's just telling us at training. He's like, this is where the move name came from. He's like, this is what it's actually called. This is what we call it here because I think he actually named the person when he taught us that move. He was like, so-and-so is wearing a Hooters shirt, like a Hooters shirt. So, like, if someone else had been taught that, there's a good chance that 50%, probably more, of the people that know, like, correct, well-taught lucha in America probably wouldn't know it. Like, if Jorge had come in and taught someone else.
Oh, you're saying if the Hooters dude never showed up to practice that?
No, I'm saying if Jorge went to a different wrestling school with like someone who doesn't have that encyclopedia mind.
No, that's true. Because to be fair, like Jorge spent the most time with Chikara with us. Like he was here for months and months at a time. Like he would pop up in Chicago every once in a while, but it wasn't that much. I trained with that dude 4 nights a week. You know, for like all the time I was in college the first time. So like that's most of my wrestling training was with him. A lot of guys, it's just like a seminar here and there. So yeah, the Chikara guys learning that and then branching it out, like, and not just Quack, like Chris Hero, like really, like.
Yeah, exactly. Same like Encyclopedia Wrestling.
Yeah, totally. And he would travel even more than Mike did. So, you know, like he's got to get the same kind of credit, if not more.
Yeah, but like when we were talking with Matt earlier, like about like when you kind of went away, he was talking about like you should go to wrestling schools that have like someone who knows what they're doing. Basically, is what he was saying, like someone who's done something in wrestling before, basically. So like imagine if Jorge just comes in and he just goes to like a random wrestling school, and this guy, like, it's just some dude, and some dude who's like wrestles around his town, and that's all he does, and like that information doesn't spread. Like that changes independent wrestling in America and in the world. Like it's a big deal for a lot of people.
Did Mike seek out Skyda?
Yes.
So, I mean, without Mike, Skyda maybe doesn't even have any influence within the United States.
I don't know if he wasn't doing stuff in the States before then, but definitely not with Chikara.
Not to the extent that he did with Chikara.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only other person that I know that's trained with him, other than like when he was doing like the Torimon stuff, was DJ Z. Told me like he was in Chicago a lot, and then
that's where he picked it up, was from those seminars. But I mean that wasn't.
But then they got a different trainer at their school.
Yeah,
they got a different trainer at their school.
But Eric Cannon brought him in to wrestle with him. Like guys started flying him out to like learn from him and to train with him and wrestle with him.
Mm-hmm.
Is he still active?
I think so.
Gotta look it up.
I know he's still around Chicago sometimes.
Yeah. As of like 2 years ago, he was
55.
A brisk 55.
You think Quack will be wrestling in 10 years?
Probably. Just
you think so?
Very limited. Yeah, I think so.
I think it'll be very limited if he is. He's already limited.
Yeah, I think he'll still be wrestling when he wants
I think it's self-imposed limitations. Like, I think he could go a full schedule if he wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, he was at practice with us, you know.
Yeah, he does full practices.
I mean, he's kept a limited schedule for years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is probably one of the reasons that he's 44 and can still do matches.
Right.
At the quality that he does.
Yeah. He's incredible, man.
Yeah.
I think one of my, like, I don't know if it's the luckiest thing, but, like, one of the luckiest things that I had in wrestling was, like, he was training to wrestle Johnny Kidd.
Yeah.
So he would always end practice with, like, all right, and then everyone's going to wrestle me. And that was, like, the best. That was so great. He was like, I want to blow myself up. I want to wrestle for as long as I can. And we'd end practice with we just wrestling for 2 hours or whatever. And he'd be like, all right, cool. And then that was
I
it.
remember when that was going down.
That was so great. So great.
Bro, I have a big question that comes to the logistics of being a professional wrestler.
Okay, is this from
If you want to invent and introduce and implement a new move, what is the process of going about doing that?
What are you talking about?
So obviously, all of these moves, these techniques, somebody had to invent them.
Yeah.
So obviously, a lot of wrestling has already been invented to this point, but there's still areas to innovate. So if you were to come up with a new move, like, what would the process be in order to be able to get like approval to be able to use that maneuver?
Approval from who?
Well, I mean, is it just the type of thing where it's like, you know, you tell your opponent like, hey, like I've got this idea, like let's get in the ring and see if it goes? Is it and then it's like, I mean, I guess in your position, then do you have to get like an approval from like an agent or?
So the approval thing is only if it is similar to anyone else on the show doing the same kind of thing. If you know it, that's the etiquette of like wrestling. Like you don't step on someone else's, stuff. You basically don't want to overshadow anyone by it. But that's the thing, like, dude, every move that's ever been done has already been done. It's already happened. All of it. It's all happened somewhere. So like you're not gonna not replicate or duplicate something. The way to make things really personally yours is to attach some of your personality to a thing, to a technique. That's the real way to kind of make it unique. But as far as like, hey, let's try something new, like that's all it is. That's really, like, I'll give you an example. So do you remember I wrestled Cedric Alexander maybe a year ago or 2 years ago? I don't even remember how long ago it was, but it might have been SummerSlam, or it might have been the Raw or the SmackDown after SummerSlam, where we did a 205 live match where we suplexed each other out of the ring and we landed on our feet and then hit a suplex there. So like it looked like a slinky. Like that was just something like we knew we could kind of do, because we had, like, anytime we'd fallen out of the ring, we've all both come down pretty safe, and I just threw it out and like we just did it. We just tried it. We didn't go through an approval process. We just said, hey, we got the 6th spot. So the approval that we did get was like, hey, let's film it. Let's film it well. So what we did was say, like, we have this idea, right? And this is something that I think Yuta needs to implement more, and like guys on Beyond Wrestling need to implement more, is that when they have these ideas, they either, I mean, like, whether or not there's a producer or someone else or like a veteran or whatever, or you, for example, would be this person, the cameramen, knowing that where they're positioned and whether they can actually get a shot of that footage, because that's what's going to live on. If I have the most unique wrestling move in a world, right? Let's say I come up with a freaking, I don't know, 900 spinning freaking shooting star clothesline, right? And I'm the only person that's ever done this. If I do that move and no one films it and no one sees it, it's useless. It doesn't matter. So like the key is to letting people know in that sense. If you have something cool or unique, get footage of it, and when you're coming up with a new move for your arsenal, if you have like veteran wrestlers in the locker room that you want to run it by, do that. If you don't feel like you have to, then you're risking offending somebody. So I think that the communication is always the key with those kinds of things. It doesn't hurt. Case by case in that sense too.
I think I just saw a clip from Corey Graves' podcast that he did with Randy Orton, and Orton said he was like completely taken aback that Austin Theory asked if he could do his variation of the TKO, because he wasn't sure if it was too similar to the RKO, and like Orton was like, I can't believe he had showed such etiquette that I said yes.
I think that's his experience, and I don't blame him. His experience with a lot of people in the locker room is that I think Randy Orton is like one of the best wrestlers of all time, right? Just for like how he implements stuff, and his poise and his timing and his superstardom and all, whatever you want to call it. But just the fact that he's been in so many locker rooms with younger talent that have never bothered to go up to him and ask him for advice, or like try to pick his brain. Maybe like, hey, maybe he has something that Ric Flair taught him one time. Like, who knows, right? Like, I think So for Austin to go out of his way to check up with them, like, that's a huge sign of respect to anybody, whether it be Randy Orton or whether it be Wheeler Yuta on a wrestling show. Like, that's just being respectful. So I think that's one thing that's kind of been maybe lost, or he just doesn't experience very often. And that's why he had to say it on the podcast.
I don't think that's a.
Yeah, go ahead. Go, Paul. Finish.
No, I was gonna say, like, I don't think that's a thing that people do as much anymore, and I think it's really cool that people do it, like asking permission for like certain moves and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people do it anymore because like people just like, oh, it's wrestling, we can all do the same move. But like, there is you should have a level of respect for all the people that paved the way for you. Like, and even if you want to take that out of it, which I don't think you should, like, I think you should leave that in there. Like, there's a level of respect that you should have for the people before you. But even if you want to take that out of it, it just gets monotonous as a show, like, if everyone's doing the same thing. So it's nice to have people ask.
The people coming before you thing, like, let's just have respect for each other, period.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Have respect for your humans and coworkers.
Yeah. And then, like,
sure.
the bond that wrestlers have that other people don't, maybe at a show or in general, is that we physically put our bodies on the line to make each other look good and have fun and, tell a good story, and hopefully people will come and buy that. Like, so that's where that's built on, is that we're putting our physical bodies, and then, like, other people don't have that in the same kind of an environment. So that's really the unspoken bond. So if you got to respect anybody, you got to treat everybody with respect, not just certain people because you feel like you have to. It should be because it's part of your character. So yeah,
there's a big difference between like going to someone in the locker room to show respect, quote unquote, to like just kind of versus like actually genuine respect.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I don't like about Zoom and the browser? There's no like gallery. There's no gallery view. Like, I don't know what Denver, Colorado's doing right now.
You can't see him?
No, I can't. I can only see you.
Oh.
In the app, I can. But
so
remember, we were talking before we went on air.
If you look on the chat, I actually have the gallery view displayed. If you look on the stream.
Right.
So that's everyone can kind of see what's going on.
Fair enough. I gave up on the stream a few minutes ago.
That's fine. This is
I couldn't. It's fine. I couldn't keep up with the comments. Fanny Pack Clan was really getting after it. Also,
have you ever invented a move? Either of you guys?
Have I invented a move?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. So I thought I was the first person to do the Southern Lights suplex when that happened.
Oh yeah.
What's that one?
So like picture a Northern Lights suplex, but just your opponent's turned around the other way.
Oh, that's cool.
So they do a
someone that did that though?
I didn't see anyone else do that before.
You definitely invented that wacky pile driver.
Oh yeah, the mother effing
Claxton
driver.
with.
That was an accident.
You hit Connor with it at fucking Beyond of all places. Do you remember that, Drew? Or Denver?
Oh, absolutely.
It's the best.
There's such a good picture of it, and then the fan cam footage of it makes it look so crazy. But I think for some reason, our official release missed it. So
it's only been done twice.
That's right.
To my knowledge. Both times, Drew Gulak to Connor Claxton. I just remember Connor used to drive me home from Dojo Wars every week my freshman year of college. When once Drew would drive me to Dojo Wars and Connor would drive me home, and Connor was like, yeah, he picked me up, and we were in a weird position, and I think we both just kind of went fuck it. That was his description of it.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, he picked me up, and we were just both like, whatever.
Yeah.
The worst that could happen.
There was never a discussion between feelings, by the way. His head was firmly between my legs.
Wasn't the finish to that supposed to be the sunset flip?
I have no...
Like the roll through?
Oh, yeah, but he didn't jump or something?
Yeah, it was something weird like that. I just remember at some point in that match, you rolled like right into his legs, and then 2 minutes later, that crazy pile driver.
That's usually how it goes.
Right? I feel like that match, and then your match with Hook for CZW and like Dayton.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that's like if you're ever like, hey, what's it like to train with Drew? It's those two matches.
What about the match with Xavier Bell from The Secret Show?
That's a good example too.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to make a human sacrifice.
I gave him a full comeback and a falsie.
Yeah, well, he didn't make the most of it, obviously.
I'm just saying.
My home. Yeah.
Who's screaming?
I don't know. Two folks outside having a time.
Sounds like cats.
You're in Philly right now?
Is there a guinea fowl running around your house?
Yeah, if there was a guinea fowl, it would be like, and you'd be like, what the hell is that machine? And it's like, oh, it's just a bird that eats ticks.
I'd be like, are there two folks outside with a mining cart just doing one of these?
I don't know, man. I saw some scary videos coming out of Philly earlier.
Oh, it's fun. Today my work closed because
proximity to the Christopher Columbus statue.
We're not that close, man. Like I think what happened was an officer came in and said, "Hey, you might have to close early because shit might go down," which I don't think it would have. And then my boss texted that to like the district manager or whatever, and they were like, "Hey, just to be safe, just shut it down." So I left. I left work at 1 instead of like 6 when we closed.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, it was all fine. Nothing happened. Like there was a protest, but whatever. Like it happens. Like, it was all fine. Like, we could have worked, but it is what it is.
Well, I guess better to be safe than sorry.
I guess, but it's like no one's. What are they going to do? Come after us? Like no one's trying to come after random employees at stores. I don't feel like, but who knows? I understand why they did it, but it was just like whatever. I feel like it was one cop got excited and like, oh, let's shut it down.
You never invented a move wheeler, Yuta?
So I thought I did. Do you remember that like submission I used to do, where I'd like pick the guy up and I'd hold him upside down
with the legs crossed?
Yeah, that was before Cage of Death 15. We had the first ever Dojo Wars mega event, Wheeler Yuta versus Blackwater. Big match before intermission.
Oh, they chanted Mortal Kombat for that match.
Yeah, and then I got a please come back, and then I didn't get booked for 2 years. Yeah, but I should have gotten booked like 1 year in, and then I quit. But anyways, so what happened was I was like at practice the week before. I picked up Blackwater and like just crossed his legs and did this weird submission. And Drew was like, "Yeah, do that." So I did that in the match, but then like a year later, someone sent me a clip of like some lady in Mexico apparently did it for like 10 years before I did. So like, all right, my bad.
But did she do the pile driver version?
She did not do the pile driver.
There you go.
So I think that I'm the reason that's in like 2K18 or whatever year I did that. I think I'm the reason.
They have that move with the cross-legged?
Yeah. They have at least the submission and I think the pile driver.
What?
So Quack used to do a similar one.
Yeah, but that's a different move.
Yeah, he would sit out. I went to my knees. I know for sure the submission's in there, and it was in there right after I started doing it.
But the one that Quack did, the guy was turned around, right? Oh, your guy's turned around too.
Both ways. The pile driver itself was pretty similar.
Okay.
But the submission went in right after I started like it Beyond. I don't know. But I also remember at that time like
Gib89 in the chat says the full move is still in there.
Is it in there?
Yeah.
Hey. I just remember Strickland was doing like mocap at the time. I've never asked him if he did it. If that's why it came in there. But like people that were around the matches I was having were there. So whether or not it's true, I prefer to believe that I'm the reason that's in the video game.
I'm buying it. I'm buying it.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but I'll probably never find out.
I was at a backyard wrestling show, and this guy named Zeus McFly put somebody in like a Texas cloverleaf.
What's his name?
Zeus McFly.
Oh, yes.
He used to come out with his hat. Remember back in the day, like there'd be those like really big hats with the big brims that were like kind of felt.
No.
Like you would go to the carnival and win like these huge obnoxious hats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would wear something similar, except it was all clippings of like pornographic magazines, all like stitched together. Real weird guy. But anyway, he put somebody in like a Texas cloverleaf, and then like as they were like trying to fight out of it, he just like picked him up and like, you know, it's backyard wrestling. Who knows what you're calling? And just gave him a pile driver from that.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Wait, did he go to his knees or did he sit out?
Yeah,
he sat out with it like he had the cloverleaf on, and then like he got like real back on the guy, and the guy started like trying to climb up his legs, and then like he just had the head between the legs, and he's like, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So that's
I thought you were
come
gonna
up
say
with a new
just
move.
like giant sling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you gotta go, hey, Carl Gotch, I know that you do this version of the pile driver, but isn't it all right if I do this one? And he says, I don't care, but you can't do pile drivers on TV. You're gonna have to save it for the robot versus wrestler.
The robot versus wrestling, Aiden English pilot. Have you guys seen, speaking of backyard wrestling, have you guys ever seen Wicked J?
Yo, someone just pulled up a clip of Zeus McFly.
Oh shit! Who's got it?
I gotta pull up the Twitch stream now. I'd close it out.
So we got Zeus McFly.
Yuta, can you do a screen share of Zeus McFly?
Sure.
Oh, good.
I gotta tell you about Wicked J though.
Oh my god.
Do you guys not know about Wicked J?
I think Zeus McFly. Hold on one sec. I think Zeus McFly got flown to an Australian backyard wrestling deathmatch tournament. In the finals of the tournament, he had his nutsack stapled to a board or something, and that was the finish of the tournament of the deathmatch tournament.
Oh my god, this guy.
I remember seeing that on the CCW fans board, the footage of him getting his scrotum stapled.
No.
Ooh, why would you do that to yourself?
Because you got flown to Australia. I mean, it's an all expenses paid trip. Dude, think about the stuff that for like an entire generation of kids were inspired to do dumb stuff because of like Jackass.
Yeah, but I don't want to staple my dong.
Okay, well, you draw the line at the dong. If you got a free trip to Australia to put a staple in your nutsack, somebody might say it's worth it. This is what McFly did. I think
like it's a discussion for sure.
I mean, dude, first of all, I don't want to be the guy administering the staple. I don't want to possibly.
I just found a video called "The Untimely Demise of Zeus McFly."
I can't wait to see this. It's probably
that's
so
the one I'm putting up.
we're getting Drew fired tonight.
What?
No. Hey, Big Goo.
What?
Apparently, you disabled screen sharing.
Wow.
No.
Total goo move.
No, hold on. There's no way. Where is it?
Yeah, I don't know how to do it.
Hold on.
Is it because I'm in the browser, not the app? I don't know. It said you did it though, so I'm gonna blame you.
I mean, it says screen share is on.
Do you remember that time that Chavo Guerrero attacked Rey Mysterio on SmackDown and he went, you forgot about the Guerreros.
No, but do you remember when they had the last man standing match and he hung him in the scaffold?
I think that was the promo that reintroduced him leading up to that match.
That's why I'm a pro wrestler, man. That and Colt Cabana's podcast. But that made me like cry. When they did the knee injury thing.
Are you gonna cry about Colt Cabana joining the Dark Order?
No, did that happen?
I don't know. He did take the bottle of water from the unnamed man.
Oh yeah, I did see that promo. I don't know, man. I might shed a tear. We'll see what
That guy
happens.
has a name. Did we figure out how to display the untimely demise of Supply yet?
No.
I don't know. Drew, do you know how to share your screen? I'll just send you the link. Also, wait, who sent it in the chat? Let me shout him out. Keeney, thank you. However, this is number 2 when you search Zeus McFly, not number 1. But I appreciate your effort. Also, my recommended YouTube video after Zeus McFly is Vladimir Kozlov. If you guys are into that.
What?
Remember him?
Do you want me to try doing share screen? I don't know if it's gonna work. I'm not gonna
try it out, man. Try it out, man. Try it out.
No, because it's gonna be like my social security number is gonna come across the screen or some shit. I'm not doing that.
Do you just keep that on your computer at all times?
That's my desktop background.
Nice. Do mine too.
The untimely demises of McFly. This video, I'm skimming through it. It's so stupid. It's just like the most Oh man, he wrestled this guy in Vancouver. Oh, what the hell was the guy's name? And he gave him a storm cradle driver on top of a closed dumpster.
Oh, he froze for a second.
Yeah, I see that. I get it.
Oh my god. I gotta find it. Zeus McFly, storm cradle driver.
Who just commented, Vladimir Kozlov weirdly got more jacked after he stopped wrestling. After kickoff. Guys, I gotta tell you about Wicked J.
Oh yeah, please.
Alright, so he was a backyard wrestler. When we were in WXW, we would just watch a lot of backyard wrestling at night, because why not at 2 a.m.?
They come up with moves.
Dude, all the time. Crazy moves. And it was Wicked J was like the champion, and he was just like this juggalo dude. And he like did some sweet moves. So we were like, oh, let's see what else Wicked J has to offer. Apparently, he used to work in the waste removal business, and he died because he fell into a trash compactor at work. So every year now, they do a Wicked J memorial show instead of having him wrestle.
Yuta, I hate this story. It was so unnecessarily sad. You're such a jerk.
Dude, there's such good Wicked J tribute shows out there. They're killing it, man.
Is this a real story?
This is a real story, yeah. At
So
10:15 a.m. Poor Wicked J.
Dude, how can I post a picture of Zeus McFly to the
hit share screen. See what happens.
That's it. Social security number's coming up, I'm telling you.
Oh shit.
I found a picture of him. Maybe I'm gonna make it my background. Wearing the porn hat, but it's like such low quality that you can't make it out. I'm gonna make it my background on Zoom right now.
Big Cat 8 just said, here's that dumpster storm cradle driver. Drew, share it.
Who, me?
Either one.
So I forget, he took it on the. Yeah, let me see. I don't know if I can do a share screen if it'll work. Let me see. Let me go. So let me go to the video. I'll full screen it, and then if I go to screen share, what happens? Host disabled participant screen sharing. Can't do it.
Yeah, weird. I don't know why that's on there.
I can't believe the whole Zoom experience has been ruined forever. Was that dramatic? I'm sorry, guys.
You're good.
Well, I'll do the best that I can do, and that's pull up a picture of Zoom. Oop.
Oh, I just saw the man, not the place.
Hold on, here we go. I'm about to choose a virtual background, and it's going to be Zeus McFly wearing the porn hat.
I got him.
Dude.
I got him doing the dumpster driver.
What a top hat.
It's Carl on in North Philadelphia right
A
now.
porn hat?
That hat is made exclusively.
Where's this dumpster at?
I put it up in the
Well,
chat.
he's lost it.
You can watch it on the stream.
I hope you enjoy it.
I didn't really get a good look
There
at
he
it.
is.
No, you need a
That was
closer
very
look.
comfortable.
Oh
for me
shit,
to
there it
do.
is.
You put him as your background.
Yeah.
That has made its way around the continent of North America.
Really?
It
Am I,
started in Rhode Island
ruining
somehow. It's
anyone's
here in
Twitch's
Vancouver now.
experience?
It's been all over the place.
This noise
It's a
going
well-traveled
on outside my apartment.
So what do we
Well
have?
educated.
Hey, dude, it sounds like a fucking war zone.
Fly.
Sucks.
Does it? Joe,
Not really.
Fly is
No,
The
I'm
reason I
just
say
being
that-
dramatic again. I'm
Segue
sorry.
time.
Since
There
it
you
started
go.
the video. Okay, now we got it.
McFly was not a smart man to sign a match with the likes of
There's
Pyro.
a dumpster
How about
store
that for a
created
segue?
Oh,
at
and
the
he
beginning
gets
of a match.
he gets
Shout
hit.
out to Big Cat
Great
8
segue, by the way.
coming in clutch again.
And
Oh, no,
these
this
two
is
are
so
gonna
bad.
go tooth and nail here to start this one. I don't think we're gonna see any classic wrestling exchanges in this.
Right, Zeus?
Not a lot.
Zeus, get it.
I would say.
I'm
We're
on
here
a delay.
at BCW versus the World 4, Day 2. It's March 25th, 2007. This is BCW's first weekend of
Storm Cradle
2007.
Drivers at 12:30.
They had no venue.
Alright, let's go.
And here is Zeus
I'm
McFly.
just watching Sick Punches.
Another dumpster
I think I'm delayed though.
right to the side, and they're gonna go up to that dumpster.
Zeus
Bi-level
McFly.
dumpsters.
Oh,
Oh, this is not gonna be good.
That's-
The
That might be the
This
best
will
name ever.
not end well.
the Hobo's Palace.
Yes.
Oh,
What?
The Storm Cradle Driver. He's got him
No.
up with the half Nelson down.
Oh my God!
Dumpster. Can you believe it? 2, 3. It's over. Forget about it.
I'm very
End this.
delayed.
Go to the hospital.
We're
Go to
getting
school.
there.
Yo,
Go to school.
Drew, did you
They're
see
in
it?
position.
You're both ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
Yes. So he takes
Oh,
the move from the guy
Jesus.
named Pyro.
Bro.
oh no.
Oh my god.
Wait, who was that counting the pin?
He's just fucking stuck there. That's the crazy part. Like, I've seen that move before, but I've never seen a human being just stick like that.
Oh my gosh.
Who's the
Oh,
referee
no.
for that match?
Just some dude, man.
No, it's not.
Throw up the X for Zeus McFly.
Who is the ref? Is it someone like actually?
It's me.
Is it really?
I have no recollection of this whatsoever, but that is 100% me reffing this
Wait,
match.
this is actually you. All right, Drew, rewind this.
I gotta put it back up.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Or I can watch it on YouTube.
Up to that.
Alright.
Is it? Wait, what clip is this?
Did you come across the whole match?
Oh yeah, hold on one second. I'm gonna pull it back up.
When he gets powerbombed into the pallet through the table at the 11
Wait,
at the 11:20 mark. That's me as the referee.
So you knew Zeus McFly?
Oh yeah, I wrestled Zeus McFly before.
How was it? How'd it go?
He got to the top rope. He
That
made
is
himself.
definitely you.
He made himself fully nude, and he did a moonsault onto me. That was something that was also not called.
What? Just on the fly, naked moonsaults.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, that definitely is you. Holy shit.
Alright, so there you are. Are you wearing a headband?
No, I've got a backwards like navy blue baseball cap on.
Alright, we're gonna. Oh my god, look at you. What year was this?
Yeah.
YouTube description.
March
Wait,
25th,
also-
2007.
Also, Zeus McFly had this match in 07.
So what do we have?
Watching it in 2019.
Alright, I put it back on the
It's his legacy.
Put it back on the
Yeah,
screen.
Zeus McFly
2019 he
is,
went back
The reason
into
I
his
say that-
catalog.
Segue time.
That was just like...
What's on the
let me
stream?
Zeus McFly was not a smart man.
Oh, yeah,
to
there
sign
I
a
am.
match with the likes of Pyro.
I
How
must
about
have
that for a segue?
and
some
he
sort
gets-
of wrist tape on. I
He
wonder
gets
if I
hit-
wrestled on
great
the show.
segue, by the way. And these two are gonna go tooth and nail here to start this one.
It's my favorite
I don't think we're
thing.
gonna see any classic
you're wearing
wrestling exchanges in
shorts.
this.
Yeah.
Not a lot, I would say. We're here at
Those shorts used to
BCW
smell
versus
so
World
bad.
War Day 2. It's March 25th,
Sure, I got an ad.
2007.
Do
This
you get
is
money for this?
BCW's first weekend of
You get money?
2007.
That was in Vancouver.
Because they had no venue. And
So
here
you went
is
to another
Zeus McFly
country
taking on
to
Backyard
ref
wrestling, yeah,
Zeus-
absolutely.
And I don't just mean
To ref this Zeus McFly match.
from England.
No, I must have wrestled
And
too. I must have
and
wrestled.
wrestled.
I think I wrestled a guy named Lenny D this day. Let me look at that.
From Luton.
How many like
Luton?
matches do you think you
I'm
had?
going with Luton that he's from.
Well,
Backyard
he's got
wrestling?
a steel chair.
Yeah.
Wasting no time
I
in
don't
a
know,
chair.
like 75 or 100.
He
Oh,
Looking
just
for maybe a
elbows out of it.
Northern Light suplex with a steel chair? Forget suplex. How about we just throw the chair? Get kicked.
Oh,
under
very
the
nice.
chair. Take that. Maybe I underestimated Zeus.
That's how far behind.
Yeah, because that was not a bad
He
little
just
move.
grabbed.
That was
Cagey.
smart.
Cagey move.
Cagey's a good way of putting it. And he quickly bails to the outside to pick up, I believe, a barbed wire wrap bat.
Oh!
Fly, of course, full of cagey moves as his mother.
When did
kept
you
him in
see
a
the
cage for
DDT?
ages
I just saw it. It was pretty sick.
And he was handling that bat like a, well,
pro.
Like a penis, I was going to say.
Oh, this may be that Northern Lights. Oh! I bet you wish you just had it with the chair.
That's a
Because that's worse, buddy.
that's a variation of the Northern Light
pulled out of
suplex, huh?
his skin and shirt.
Don't put
And
that
now
in
has
his hair.
laid it in front of his head. This cannot bode well for Zeus McFly.
Hey, that's a decent
Pyro
Northern Lights.
Pyro regarded as
I wonder if Pyro went on to be a
in
pro,
addition to one of the
pro wrestler.
This is all sick.
top wrestlers in England, is probably regarded as the
Absolutely.
best hardcore wrestler in England.
What's he up to? Is he
So,
still in
when
Tokyo?
that I heard he was coming over, he's like, well, I gotta see what this guy's made of. I gotta test
I'm
myself.
gonna message
what the world
I'll
has
message
to offer.
This
one of the
is
guys
the
that used to be
battle
involved
of
with
the
VCW and
world's
ask whatever
best
happened to Pyro right now.
Deathmatch wrestler.
That's right. Canada versus UK.
Some of the like one of the guys was Will Ospreay, I think, that
And
came
you can
from
see
this
earlier,
group. But I don't
and
know.
I think he's gonna go for it
I
again.
always get
Raking-
confused.
Oh, he's just jamming the barbs.
Shots. Oh, big shot to the forehead there.
Barbed wire is meant to keep animals contained. It's not meant to be scraped on human
You
flesh.
forget that so often in wrestling that this
Hey, Drew,
isn't.
have you
and
wrestled
Kingpin also.
Kenny Omega?
That this isn't what barbed wire is
Been in a
for.
cell locker room a bunch of
It
times.
really isn't. And it's gonna tear the
I
flesh.
did.
Sorry to disappoint you.
And open
When I
Sorry
was
to
in
disappoint
Vancouver.
you.
wounds
What?
that's gonna
Who's
cause
there?
blood to spill.
Well,
These two have
Nick
made their way
Wild
over-
Fox 24.
Whoa.
For a while. Once he finds out.
Shaky Camel was there. But they've made their way over to the...
Punches a hole in the wall. Like aiming, trying to punch a hole in Zeus McFly.
Oh!
No! Pretty much a Death Valley driver into the wall,
Oh.
making a Zeus McFly-sized
Oh
dent.
my God!
Way to check on him there,
And
Denver,
he
Colorado.
shoved the referee out of
Very
the
nice
way,
of you.
who was
Yeah,
simply checking to
I got
see
a
if he
pie.
was
I got a pie
alive.
face for my trouble.
All right, I'm getting out of that. That's,
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, real good.
I just saw the Death Valley driver. That just happened.
Wow. That was crazy, man. Small world.
Hey, you wanna see? I shouldn't. No, I'm not gonna show you.
Do it. Show us.
All right, let me send you an unlisted link. All right, let me just put
He knows good.
let me just put a full disclaimer. I'll leave it up to you before you decide whether or not you want to show this video.
Okay.
But the entranceway for this backyard wrestling show was legs, and you entered underneath full male
We're not
genitalia.
going to show that.
And the name of the show was written in the pubic hair.
We are not going to show that. But if you want to,
It's not very lifelike. It's not very lifelike.
I'm good.
All right, Denver, Colorado. I gotta know this though. Did they shave it into the pubic hair, or did they shave the pubic
It wasn't-
hair?
What's wrong with you?
It wasn't
Or
actually.
did they shave it around it so that it says that?
It wasn't shaven into it. It was shaved into the pattern of the name of the show.
Okay. Respect.
So it's bald except where the hair spells out the words BY, the letters BYFX.
Jesus.
It was supposed to spray. We were supposed to have a hose hooked up to it, so like you'd enter like under like a sprinkler.
Why?
Oh, that's even worse.
Because it was like a big rib on everybody. So at the height of when I was organizing these like backyard wrestling shows, like this was the culmination. It was basically like a tour. It was 5 shows in 8 days in 3 different states, and everybody had to pay dues to be on it, and part of it went to building the set. So one of the shows we did in Shamokin, we had a Faygo fountain. It was called like the Backyard Gathering, and like all the kids that ran it were juggalos. So we had like a Faygo fountain. So I was like, okay, cool. Like when we go do a show in New Bedford, we're gonna set up like it's gonna be like 8-ball themed, like pool, billiards. And then I was like, like I kind of didn't like the guys that were involved with the Backyard Fest 10 show. So I was like, okay, so their entranceway is just gonna be a big pissing dick.
Gross.
Love it.
You know what, Yuta? I'll send you the link. I'm not sending it to Drew.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. Hell
And the main event of the show is Ricky Shane Page against Scott Henson, and he does a swanton bomb off of box truck through this table, but where the leg of the table is breaks. Instead of the table breaking, the leg just goes through and just like impales Ricky. So it's pretty bad.
God, I love RSP. Glad he's not, dead from that.
Yuta, what's the I'm gonna send you a link on Facebook Messenger.
Do it, man. Do it.
Yeah. So enjoy the craft. I obviously I didn't make the entrance myself. I had to pay somebody to do it.
I still love it.
Oh, I just heard that Pyro is bald and right wing. So Pyro's canceled, right?
Wait, what?
Yeah, because you can't be bald in 2020.
Yeah, he is canceled, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, let's wind down the chat. I'm getting tired. I'm ready for bed.
Tired of hearing about Denver, Colorado's backyard wrestling escapades.
You know it. I'm glad I got to see that footage, though. Thank you very much.
Come in. The Storm Creative driver was sick.
Drew was like, penis entrance ways? Nah. Shut it down.
They just had somebody throw piss in somebody's face on SmackDown. I think that we can have a little phallic fun.
PHUN.
I'm gonna see if I can get Brett Lauderdale to book Zeus McFly for the GCW Backyard Wrestling show. He just booked Chase Burnett.
He probably would do it.
I don't know. International flights are probably a little dicey right now. Zeus McFly, I do not expect to be somebody that's practicing safe social distancing.
All right, but
all right, wind it down. Wind it down.
All right, thanks for joining us this week on Gabbin with Gulak, and we'll see you guys next time. Is there anything you guys want to plug or talk about before we go?
Yeah, sign up for IWTV.live using promo code BEYOND for a 5-day free trial. Let's get some record numbers going. That would be... numbers are up since when I plugged it before, and nobody else would be plugging at this time of night. So everybody that signed up is the best. Thank you.
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Wheeler Yuta. I'm also... So I didn't have my steel drum tonight, but I recorded 2 LPs before I left my steel drum. So I'm going to drop those soon. They're all covers. Don't worry about it.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah. I have here, my parents gave me, let me grab them. My parents gave me this Kroger bag full of blank CDs that they found in their attic. So these are all going to be, do you want one of these? I'll mail it to you.
Yes.
At Wheeler Yuta, hit me up.
You have the means to burn a CD in 2020?
Yeah, on this very laptop.
I don't have the means to play a CD in 2020.
Yeah, I have no idea. What am I going to put it up my ass?
Dude, I have this old laptop. If not, I'll just burn it on thumb drives and mail those to people.
Remember when you were supposed to do this for your merch?
Yeah, man, I was supposed to, and then instead I stole Christian Casanova's browsing history and then had a match for it.
You can still do it.
I could. Yeah, I'll give people that option. Thumb drive or free CDs my parents gave me.
We did the Beyond branded thumb drives when we had the third party merch arrangement. I don't know what happened to them all. Maybe they all got sold.
Ooh, I don't know. If not, hit me up.
I don't have them. Yeah, no.
I'll buy them.
No. Don't have
Juan
him hit you up.
Sebastian has them. Yeah.
You should do it yourself, though. I thought it was a good idea. I thought it was always a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I'll have them on USB or CD, whatever you want.
What if you found a way to record to, 8-track?
That'd be impressive.
Yeah.
If you want it on CD, USB, vinyl, or 8-track.
I'll have it
Any of the
How much does it cost to get you to come play it in person, on somebody's lawn?
Somebody's. Ooh, I don't
Trans
know.
Hotel. What's your booking rate?
My
diem?
booking rate used to be $100 an hour, which was pretty aggressive.
That seems fair.
I would get it.
You gotta play for a whole hour.
I love that the promoter just laughs.
Well, it was pretty aggressive pricing, but I would get it.
I would get it.
Well, then it's not aggressive. It sounds pretty fair. That's how, when I book out the food truck, I tell people, hey, this is what my asking price is, and it's still, I think, lower than a lot of what other minimums are. But if they can't swing it, I also can't put myself out as a businessman just to feed somebody, you know?
Yeah, why would you do it? Yeah.
Right, so if you're
my like asking price was literally what my teacher would get, and then I would cut it substantially. He would get a lot more. So I just like, yeah, that's fair.
I don't understand your story at all.
My music teacher told me what he got, and then I cut it, and that's what I got. Because he would also refer me most of my gigs.
So then how is your pricing aggressive if it's way undercutting him?
All right. Look, I didn't think it through, all right?
You sound like you kind of screwed out the teacher a little bit, like.
No, he told me, he was like, this is what I get, and I'm just giving you the gigs that I can't get. So here's what you should charge. He told me what I should charge one day, and that's what I charged. But it was less than what he charged.
Oh, fair enough. Sorry, Drew. I know you're winding it down.
Yeah, Drew.
No, I was enjoying this.
This weird banter.
So.
Should I plug the food truck instead? Maybe I can get a food truck booking out of it.
Do it, man.
Yo, if anyone needs a food truck.
Yeah, is anybody in this chat live in Rhode Island or Massachusetts that wants that wants 50 grilled? Thank you, Big Cat 8. That wants 50 grilled cheese sandwiches delivered to them and cooked fresh at their doorstep.
Who doesn't want that?
Oh man, we're seeing a big dip in viewers. People do not like the championship melt talk. I'm sorry. Don't book me. Go to bed.
Well, we told them we were winding down. So
yeah, we are winding down. It's wind down time. What am I doing tomorrow? Am I playing tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow's Scary Ass Sunday.
What are you playing?
Blair Witch.
Dude, I gotta be honest. I was not feeling Lara Croft as much as I was Nathan Drake.
No?
The one thing where like the city was flooded and you had to like jump on all those platforms, but almost parts of watching Uncharted is like you can still tell like you're playing the game. Watching the Tomb Raider game looked like the game was playing itself.
Didn't feel like it.
Oh, it didn't feel like it. Okay, that's cool then.
Yeah, definitely didn't feel like it.
I'll give it another go.
Especially when she got stuck underwater. Dude, the one part where she's stuck in the cave and it floods and then she has to crawl out through the cave underwater. Oh my god.
That was freaky. That was very atmospheric.
Yeah. But like I'm playing through all that stuff. If I stayed in there too long, I'd be drowned. Yeah. It's a pretty sick game. She climbs faster than him. I've noticed that too. Yeah. So yeah, on that note, I'll be back tomorrow with Scary Ass Sunday. And if you guys want to follow Beyond Wrestling, feel free to give them a follow or go to iwtv.live. Use the promo code BEYOND. They could really use it right now, and there's lots of cool things you can check out.
Hold on. Somebody's saying Rhode Island needs a lot more than just grilled cheese right now. What does Rhode Island need? AFK, AOK?
Friendship. I don't know.
I want to know what Rhode Island needs. A good governor. Look at this political conversation. What are you getting us all riled up, Drew? Gina Raimondo said that if people don't practice safe social distancing, she's going to get in her SUV and go bust up some kneecaps. That's the way the people that used to run Federal Hill would want it. Capiche?
Capiche.
Sorry, guys. I'll let you go.
It's cool. All right. Good night. Good talking to you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
See you guys.
Bye.